You're down to one lane in the Hubbard Street Tunnel, and reports of that truck striking the overpass. A bunch of debris apparently on vehicles, maybe a couple of crashes, too, caused by this situation. A place to avoid right now, the inbound Kennedy. Again, really, really heavy. Going to get worse probably before it gets better. Alfonso, we appreciate you checking in.
Inbound Kennedy at the Hubbard Tunnel. Semi-truck hit the overpass. Debris hit a bunch of cars. It's basically shut down.
Driving out to O'Hare. Now a new crash on 55 northbound, passing Route 53 in Will County in the right lane. Doug, we appreciate the call on that.
Major accident.
Crash involving a vehicle that hit the guardrail on I-57 inbound at Halstead, the right lane blocked. Next report, 408 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Still showing some light rain and rain throughout the area. Cloudy skies for the most part. Still a chance for some thunderstorms, maybe some severe thunderstorms. And a tornado risk higher south of I-80, a high just 67, low tonight of 60. We've got 64 degrees now at 3:59.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM, we're keeping an eye to the skies on heavy rains moving through the Chicago area this afternoon. We'll get the latest, as always, with AccuWeather in a moment.
Chicago City Council gets on board with Mayor Johnson's plan to buy the Greyhound station. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles outside council chambers.
Plus, the U.S. readout of the memo of understanding with Iran reopens the Strait of Hormuz and resumes nuclear negotiations, but it's being seen as a win for Tehran in business.
Wall Street ended the day on sharp declines after the Fed's decision to hold interest rates steady. The Dow plummeted 506 points, the Nasdaq fell 354, and the S&P lost 91 points. I'm Monica Ricks at Bloomberg.
From ABC News. I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. New details surrounding the memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran set to be signed Friday. The 14-point memo calls for an immediate ceasefire on all fronts, including Lebanon. It also reopens the Strait of Hormuz and begins talks on Iran's nuclear program. ABC's Jonathan Karl says Iran would get key sanctions lifted.
The single most important sanctions were the sanctions that denied Iran the ability to sell its oil on the international market. Now, they did sell their oil anyway through its shadow fleet on the black market, but this cost Iran dearly. Now, immediately upon signing this, they have access to international oil markets, something they have not had for many years under many different U.S. presidents.
President Trump warned if Iran does not behave, military strikes could resume. The economic impact for the war is affecting interest rates. The Federal Reserve Board voted to keep interest rates unchanged, but signaled rate hikes could come later this year. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more.
What we're looking at now is a drastically different outlook for the Fed, in that at the start of this year, and even at the last meeting, we were expecting interest rate cuts. Well, now the possibility looks more likely from many Fed officials that it could be going higher.
In New York, a judge sentenced Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The 62-year-old husband and father, in a deal with prosecutors, pleaded guilty to the murders of 8 women starting in the 1990s, the majority of them sex workers. Their bodies were not discovered until decades later. Along the Gulf Coast, residents are bracing for Tropical Storm Arthur, the first named storm of the hurricane season. Alerts stretch from Texas to Georgia, with life-threatening flash flooding possible in Louisiana. Storm preps are underway in Covington, with homeowners and businesses filling sandbags to protect from the flooding. You're listening to ABC News.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission.
What's up, everybody? Happy afternoon. It's 4:02 p.m. here in Streeterville, Chicago. That's where we usually start our broadcast. This is SubX.News on the spot reporting. This is our daily route. We travel around, listen to the radio, we listen to crime calls, we go see things, we go talk about things, and that's about it. We'll see how it works out today. The big story today is the storms and the taxes now. Now it's starting to come out what was in Governor Pritzker's budget. It was multiple tax increases, mostly on businesses, which is probably going to mean we're going to have less revenue. When you tax businesses, what happens? 2 things happen. They charge more to pay the taxes. Secondly, they move. That's what happens. That's how life goes. So that's what Pritzker passed, and that's what they were promoting yesterday, but they didn't talk about all the taxes. Chicago, too, has a bunch of taxes. New ones.
And WBBMNewsRadio.com.
What's up, Marietta?
4:03. It is Wednesday, the 17th day of June. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Fielding. Kind of a cloudy, rainy, stormy day. 64 degrees right now. Another round of heavy storms could be barreling through the Chicago area. For the latest, we turn to senior AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Yeah, Lisa, watching some storms just south of Chicago right now that have prompted a flash flood warning for the extreme southern part of Cook County. That's south of the city of Chicago and then into northern parts of Lake County in northwest Indiana. This is kind of centered right along the Tri-State Tollway. We've had some heavy rain from around Madison through Flossmoor, Homewood, over toward Hammond, and now getting into Gary and even as far east as Lake Station in northwest Indiana. We also have a flood advisory has just been put out for northern parts of Porter County in northwest Indiana as well. So that's where most of the rain is right now. A lot of the rest of the area has seen the rain kind of ease up for the time being. We'll still have the threat for some showers and potentially a heavier thunderstorm into this evening. It looks like the best chance for severe storms will be largely south of Interstate 80. Brian Thompson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
People who take Greyhound buses in and out of the city will soon use a bus station owned by the city of Chicago, now that the council has approved the mayor's plan to take over that station. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckholz has the details from City Hall.
Downtown Alderman Bill Conway was one of the first people to raise questions about Mayor Johnson's plan to spend as much as $50 million in economic development funds to buy the Greyhound terminal that's in his ward.
Since then, I have asked questions, convened meetings, reviewed materials, spent time meeting with neighbors and many city departments.
He urged his colleagues to vote yes.
This station is an important part of Chicago's multimodal transportation network.
But Southwest Side Alderman Marty Quinn said he doesn't think the city can afford to run a bus terminal.
Our budget gap that we're going to get into in short order would suggest that we shouldn't be in the business of buying property. We should be in the business of selling property.
In the end, the council approved the deal. We're outside council chambers. Jeff Buckholz, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
New details emerging after an incident Monday night where a man shot and killed another man before he was then shot by police in the Uptown neighborhood.
He was defending a woman. The man who was killed was the condo board president. The woman lives in the building. She had an order of protection against her ex-boyfriend after he allegedly threatened to kill her dog, burn her apartment, and cause damage to her unit. He returned to the building on Monday night, according to neighbors, armed with a handgun. The condo board president was shot and killed trying to stop him. He was 63 years old. The shooter ran. Police heard the shots, chased the suspect, and shot him, according to police, when he pointed a gun at officers. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A 40-year-old man has been charged in connection to a sexual assault in Barrington 2 months ago. Ulufemi Olaifa is accused of assaulting a 30-year-old woman at Alden Estates of Barrington. It's a rehab facility. Happened in February. After a thorough investigation, which included collecting DNA evidence, Barrington police arrested and charged Olaifa. We're waiting to hear more on his court appearance today. Trustees in far northwest suburban Westing Dundee got a better look at plans for redeveloping the old Spring Hill Mall property.
Since the mall closed in 2024, West Dundee has spent over $13 million to buy the land, demolish it, and get it ready for redevelopment. During their meeting Monday night, trustees heard from a planning and design firm the village has hired. Senior planner Sujan Das Shrethra talked about concepts of either an urban village or mixed-use boulevard.
We didn't just pick two because, we're indecisive, but it was more to explore what's possible.
As first reported by the Daily Herald, both ideas have a lot of trees, walkable streets, and a pond. One concept would have nearly 800 units of housing and 320,000 square feet of retail space. The other would have nearly twice as much housing and 400,000 square feet of retail. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Chicago Public Library offering Chicagoans free access to the New York Times.
Anyone who visits a Chicago Public Library branch or has a library card now has copies complimentary digital access to the Times news coverage dating back to 1851, as well as access to games like Wordle, daily crosswords, recipes, and podcasts. Visitors can access the Times on a public computer at one of the library's branches or by logging into library Wi-Fi on a personal device. CPL cardholders can also redeem 24-hour codes to access the Times remotely by entering their library card number and PIN on the library's website. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It is 4:08. Time now to check in on the roads, traffic, and weather together on the 8th. First up, Neil Fiorito.
All right, Lisa, a lot going on. Let's start on the Kennedy Expressway. Traffic just inching along, coming in from Harlem to the Hubbard Street Tunnel. The overpass there in the tunnel. One of those overpasses struck and debris went all over the roadway. You're down to one lane getting through that stretch. Apparently a semi struck the overpass, and we had a bunch of debris that fell from that overpass onto some vehicles, maybe a couple of crashes during the incident as well. So a real mess crews are dealing with on the Kennedy inbound again at the Hubbard Street Tunnel. If you can, just exit wherever you want and then use Milwaukee Avenue to take that into downtown. Probably much better than sitting in the traffic on the inbound Kennedy. Hour 12 in, 40 minutes in off the junction, outbound 30 to Montrose and 48 to drive out to O'Hare.
See, this guy, he lives out here, whatever. He lives out here. But look at the trash he lives. He leaves. There's a guy that lives right there by that cone. A lot of trash here. It is what it is, but he doesn't have a place to stay. What's up, Brian? This is where we started. This is where we started our broadcast for almost 2 years. If you go back in our history, you'll see we started here for 2 years every day. And the migrants were right in front of us. We watched them, we interviewed them, we talked to them, we did everything, right? Let me talk to this guy. I'll tell him who I am. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm a reporter. My name is John Kugler. I run my own news page, SubX.News. So you see me driving through here. I run beats and I do stories about all of this stuff. That's all. That's so you know who I am, because I know you see my Jeep sometimes. I know you stay over there, so. You know, if you want to, here's my card, and maybe we'll talk one day. We'll have dinner, we'll talk. I see you're doing some art or something there. And then we'll do an interview or something. We'll have some lunch somewhere, or dinner.
Bad. I'm a Vietnam veteran.
I don't carry money. I'm sorry, because I don't want to get robbed. So I don't carry any money. I really don't.
Do you have any old magazines or books like that?
What kind of stuff do you want to read?
National Geographics, Daily Bread, New Old Bible.
I just picked up a Bible from these other guys. I don't know what this one is. You see that one? I don't know what Bible that is.
Okay.
I just picked that up. They came from Atlanta or something like that. So you like National Geographic? My wife might have some, but I don't know if we donated that. What other kind of stuff do you need?
Soap, toothpaste.
I have a whole bunch of that stuff.
Jackets.
I know, because you can't do your laundry.
10.5 shoe.
So you need some hygiene stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get you some. Or I got a whole bunch of that stuff.
Gloves.
All right, that's for the winter. All right, I'll get you some stuff. I'll look at it. Again, my name is John.
Dwayne Cortez Jarnigan.
Nice to meet you, Dwayne. Nice to meet you.
I'm a Vietnam veteran.
All right. But you know what? This is what we'll do. If you want, it's up to you. Maybe we'll sit down. I don't know what you like to eat, and we'll talk one day. Maybe you tell your story. No one's doing any work in Chicago about people's stories and what's going on. And look, we all do they're homeless, they're this and that, and we need money. No, forget that. That's important. But what about the stories? And not sad and all. No, the story. Well, your story, right? I don't want to hear that. Everybody has problems, I understand it, but who you are and talk about it, if you would want to.
Yeah, I have a teacher's degree. I'm walking streets. All of this stupid say I'm a Vietnamese.
You get what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, if we make money, what are we going to split it? 60-40? 50-50. All right, my brother. Good seeing you, Dwayne, okay?
All right.
Toiletries, and you like National Geographic.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see what I can do for you, my brother, okay? Nice meeting you, Dwayne. John, okay?
Dwayne Cortez Jarnigan.
I just wanted to tell you because you see me driving around, so you know who I am, all right? I'm a reporter, okay?
All right.
Nice to meet you, but I ain't like the famous reporter. I'm a small reporter.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Dwayne.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great day, Dwayne. All right, let's get going, right? They all have stories out here, right? Everybody has a story here. Sometimes you just talk to them because no one talks to these guys. And the only other way people talk is they either have the conversation, I need money, and what do I always say? I ain't got money, right? Right? And then the other thing is, oh, can I help you? I'm so sad for you. Yeah, it's sad, whatever. But when you get past those two, you say, I just want to talk to you. Who are you, right? There's not too many people do that, right? It's the either or. Either the person's getting something or the person's giving something. And yeah, that's important. It's important to do that because people need some help here and there. But the other thing is how about just talking, right? Having a conversation, figuring out what's going on, and just spending some time, right? There you go. You got the migrants right there. See that? They're back to where they used to be. See that there? They got all those fancy electric bikes there, huh? They like those there. What's going on with the news? Oh man, I hit the wrong channel button. There you go. You got why do you got people standing? Look at this. Why is there people in front of that 7-Eleven there? There's two on a milk crate. Why is there two people on a milk crate in front of a 7-Eleven? Can somebody answer that question for me? You think both are begging for money? You think they're both homeless? You're homeless, but you're in front of a 7-Eleven. Huh. Interesting. They need money. What do they need money for? Are you going to get enough money to sleep in a hotel tonight? Are you going to get enough money to eat tonight? See, that's the fakeness of it. I started doing this years ago, and people say, oh, you're mean to the homeless people. So how do you know they're homeless? Now, does a homeless person do that? Sit in front of a store all day long? Really? They do? I didn't know they did that. Those guys have all clean clothes on. They have brand new clean clothes, those guys. Those aren't homeless. They're drug dealers. That's what they are. They're drug dealers. Got that? They sell drugs. That's what they do. They're drug dealers, drug pushers, servers, whatever you want to call them. That's what they are. Think about it. Does it make sense that you're homeless and you sit in front of a 7-Eleven all day? Does that even make sense? If you want to get something to eat, where would you go? I go to the Volare there and say, hey man, I'm a little hungry. You got some meal? And you say, hey, I'll take the meal that you throw away. Or go dumpster diving, right? Wouldn't they? If you're hungry, you go there, right? Now you want clothes, where would you go? To some clothing store, Salvation Army, Goodwill, something like that, right? If you need money for something, you would go to a city agency and ask for money or ask for a place to stay, right? See, so it doesn't make sense that someone sits in front of a 7-Eleven all day. Those are not homeless people. They're not homeless. Got that? They're not homeless. They're there for a different reason. They're not there because of they're homeless. Because if you're homeless, two things are you doing. If you're homeless during the day, you're looking for services, right? Or you're sleeping. Most homeless people don't sleep at night because it's dangerous unless you have a safe space to sleep. You don't sleep at night because that's where you get hurt. So what you do is you sleep in the daytime. If you're truly homeless, you sleep in the daytime. That's the fact about homelessness, all right? Unless you have a job, right? If you're homeless and have a job, then you do what? We got some, you got some dudes going over there, right there, walking around. Let's go see where this cop is going, right? Yeah, if you're truly homeless, you're not sitting in front of a store all day. You don't do that. It doesn't even make sense. Because what? What are you looking for, right? What are you trying to get? Money? What's money gonna get you? How much money can you get sitting in front of a 7-Eleven all day? How much can you get? Can you get enough for a room at night? There you go. Something just happened here, right? SubX.News. We're in Streeterville, right in front of the AMC here. Let's see, listen to the radio, what we're listening to here.
Shorts. They said very specifically gray shorts. Got one national description on Sheridan when he's wearing pants. Is he on the platform right now?
Something's going on.
Okay, where's he at?
So do you understand the concept of homelessness? Right? I was homeless before. I couldn't speak in from my personal... Now maybe homelessness has changed. Maybe they changed, and it's 4 o'clock. By this time, you were already looking for a place to stay.
Exactly where he's at the station. Okay, again, we do have someone who possibly matches the description of Sheridan. He's going to be a male black, wearing a green... Low voltage. If someone maybe wants to try to check him out.
So I might be wrong. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, right? And I was homeless, what, over 30 years ago. So maybe homelessness has changed. Maybe it's modern homelessness now, right? Maybe the modern homeless guy sits on a milk crate all day in front of a 7-Eleven and he has brand new clothes on and he's fit and he's clean and his fingernails are washed and he's manicured and groomed. Interesting, isn't it? Isn't that an interesting concept?
4 Jackson Red. Yep, that's 08657.
Yeah, I speak from experience. Okay.
83 Adam. 70 Dan. That's the number for the job that we respond. Low voltage. Yeah, 08486. 08486.
Go right there, right? So they're going over here, right?
Low voltage. We do that to CFB, and then can we get another event number for 95th and the red line, the north station?
We're going to get rid of that low voltage. That's kind of aggravating.
Low voltage.
That's kind of aggravating there.
Alright, and 701 Sam, they are confirming they've met with the victim. The victim is confirming it was shorts. Low voltage. Shorts. Top of the description, again, male black 5'5", green hoodie and gray shorts. They said he's also skinny. Again, no weapon.
That's on the Howard Red Line.
Ply one and had a bulge on his right side.
That's Howard Red Line. This is Streeterville. This is a different case we're looking at. You're looking at 2 different cases.
Sure. That is 08488. 7383 Adam.
Yeah.
Can you guys head out to the bus stop on the north side of 95th Street? They got a person down who's passed out. Fire is rolling.
383 boys.
790 boy.
We got a platform check, 79th Street, red line.
Sure. It is 08517.
383 Charlie.
733 Charlie.
Event number 69 on the red line.
There's something going on here, right?
It is 08522.
There's 2 cops now here, right?
789 Adam.
You got a number, please, for the medical dispatch?
Yep, it is 08535.
There's something going on here. There's 2 cops here in Streeterville.
It is 08547.
383 David.
That's at the bus stop. They're arresting somebody at the bus stop.
I get an event number for the red line platform check. Red line.
They're going after somebody at the bus stop. It's Streeterville. Something's going on at the bus stop there, right? You're talking to some guy right there, right? There was a robbery on North Sheridan, too. This is not that. There's a lot of police officers here. There you go. SubX.News. Oh, they got a paddy wagon. There's a lot of cops showing up here, right? You're gonna put somebody into custody here, right? Alright, they're about to put somebody into custody here, right? SubX.News. SubX.News on the spot reporting Streeterville. They're about to put somebody into custody. And there's a lot of cops out here for whatever is going on. There's at least 4 squads with a paddy wagon here, right? There you go, right? SubX.News. Heavy police presence, Streeterville. There you go. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Heavy police presence here at the bus stop. Where are we at? I think we're on, I don't even know what street. I'm already running and I just followed the cops here, right? I'll tell you the address here. So they were talking to those guys over there. And they're leaving now. There you go. So they were talking to those guys right there. So we're on Grand Avenue, just east of McClure. You see them right there? So somebody called the cops on them or something. And we seen a bunch of other guys walking through the Lower Wacker just a second ago. So that's what they're going out and checking them out. You've seen 5 squad and a paddy wagon. All right? There's a robbery on Sheridan Avenue. We'll play that back. See this and that? There you go. Right? Heavy police presence for some teenagers out here in Streeterville.
This is the red line that's straight into the southbound into Addison. We should have a 19th district unit pull in to check on it.
Don't want them. Confirm this guy was wearing shorts or pants?
Shorts. They said very specifically gray shorts.
Got one actual description on ship.
Robbery, North Sheridan Avenue, riding the red line down to Addison now.
Sheridan.
Alright, is he on the platform right now? Okay, where's he at? Okay, let me know exactly where he's at the station. Okay, again, we do have someone who possibly matches the description of Sheridan. He's going to be a male black, wearing a green hoodie with this guy's pants on if someone maybe wants to try to check him out.
383 Henry.
783 Henry.
In the van. Fort Jackson Red.
Yep, that's 08657.
Streeterville disturbance. 4 squads in a patio again. They drove off.
783.
Plus that's the VIN number for the job that we responded to over here.
Streeterville.
08486. 08486.
That's the CSC, and then can we get another event number for 95th and the red line, the north station?
Alright, 10-4, 08660. Alright, and 701 Sam, they are confirming they've met with the victim. The victim is confirming it was shorts. This guy is wearing gray shorts. On top of the description, again, male black 5'5", green hoodie, gray shorts. They said he's also skinny. Again, no weapon was seen, but he did imply one and had a bulge on his right side. Confirmed that he got on a train. We have not been able to confirm that he got on a train. Again, the victim just stated that he was last seen headed southbound towards the Sheridan Red Line, but unknown if he got on. 7362.
So these are teenagers slapping people on the street.
Is 08686. Adam. 700 Adam.
So they were harassing people on the street.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about.
Teenagers messing with people.
I don't know. I think I could have sworn she said there was a after that first one, there was another one that arrived that was possibly. Then I don't know. I know you mentioned like 2 at the time. The first one being.
Okay, 10 for it. 701 Sam, any updates?
Sam, yeah, but that person's gonna be wearing a red shoes.
Wait, you do? Okay. So you have seen the offender? He was on CTA property? Alright, 10-4. Where did he get on at, and did he go northbound or southbound?
Uptown, Sheridan.
And what direction did he travel from Sheridan?
We're trying to confirm this one.
Okay, 10-4. So, at this point, we do have the offender getting on the Sheridan Red Line after the robbery, trying to confirm what direction he went. 733 Eddie. Yep, that is 08721. Alright, 5700 AM, yeah, you were right, it was 2 trains. So the second one was run number 924. They checked that one at Belmont. That's going to be a negative for the offender at Belmont.
383 Henry.
733 Henry.
In the van for Jackson Blue.
Yep, that is 08750.
7323 George.
733 George.
Number for Roosevelt State.
Yep, that is 08759.
Boy and Adam.
789 Boy and Adam.
Boy, can I get a number 29 for district check?
Yep, that is 08769. 3215.
744.
4744.
Put me down outside town 87 red, please.
87 in the red, 10. 3215. 3215. 3215. 5. Hey, I want to put this on your box. We don't have a lot of info. Got a call from a sister of someone who's from out of town, got into a rental, and then called the sister saying the rental car was going out of control northbound near the Wagner on-ramp. However, the sister doesn't know what type of car he's in, and he's not answering the phone. Can you check the area to see if we got any crashes? We haven't gotten calls.
her screaming.
1221 units in City
Oh,
Migrant.
weird shit.
Criminal damage to property in progress. Grand and Damon. This regards to is calling. He sees a Hispanic male break into the vehicle windows with a polar stick. He's wearing a brown beanie and a light blue hoodie. At the furthest 212 from clear.
7388 Adam.
7388 Adam.
Yeah, your Rosemont blue line check.
Yeah, that is 08814.
Thank you. Seven
73944. Boy.
Let me get a red line check at St. Mason.
Sure, that is 08824.
Good afternoon. Can you hold myself and 17 down to the United Defenders for Canada, please?
You got it there.
9-9. Thank you.
Guys left, right? So there's a robbery on the north side, right? On the train. They're looking for a robber, right?
Right, a person with a gun, 1365 North Hudson, 2 Mass, 24. Vehicle has guns, the offenders the last week wearing all black, and further support.
Teenagers slapping people on the street. Streeterville, happened around 4:15 p.m. June 17, 2026.
That is 08846. There, Sam.
For that robbery, got on the Purple Line train southbound at approximately 16:14 hours. Run number 508, car number 5437.
Alright, 10-4. Offender got on the Purple Line train at 16:14 hours.
Yes, the Purple Line.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't think it stops at Sheridan, right?
Eric, offender got on the Purple Line.
Games, I think it does. Yep, for the internet, weekday Cubs night game, temporary stop for Purple.
3 boys.
7 minutes.
We go on for 719 red light, 16:14 hours. Run number 50. Come on, Sam.
There, Sam.
For that robbery, got on the Purple Line train southbound at approximately 16:14 hours. Route number 508, car number 54376.
Alright, 10-4. Offender got on the Purple Line train at 16:14 hours. 10.
Yes, the Purple Line.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't think it stops at Sheridan, right? Oh, weekday for the Cubs night games, I think it does. Yep, for the internet, weekday Cubs night game, temporary stop for Purple Line at Sheridan.
PA3 David.
783.
I get an event number for the 55th Red Line.
Yep, that is 08857.
80 boy.
78 boy.
Then for Logan Square, blue light.
Yep, that is 08871.
There you go. Somebody just got robbed and they're riding around on the train. There you go. You just heard it, right? Did you see the cops do anything here with those kids? They walked away. They didn't question them. They didn't take nothing down. The cops walked away. The kids were doing stuff. The cops walked away. They didn't even write a report. You got how that works? You just witnessed it. The kids know that. Ready to roll? Let's go. Alrighty. Let me I want to set up something here. Be for later on. Let's listen to the radio a little bit, right? Radio calls.
3215.
Alright, ready to roll?
744.
There you go. You got a robbery, teenagers doing stuff.
I'll push on 87 Red, please.
There you go, man.
87 Red, Tad. 3215. 3215. 3215. 5. Hey, I want to put this on your box. We don't have a lot of info. Got a call from the sister of someone who's from out of town, got into a rental, and then called the sister saying the rental car was going out of control northbound near the Wagner on-ramp. However, the sister doesn't know what type of car he's in, and he's not answering the phone. Can you check the area to see if we got some crashes? We haven't got any calls.
1221 in Unison Citywide, granted criminal damage to property in progress, Grand and Damon. Mr. Garcia is calling to seize a Hispanic male breaking into the vehicle windows with a polar stick. He's wearing a brown beanie and a light blue hoodie. Nothing further to 12, so it's clear.
Ready to roll?
7388 Adam.
Okay, Rosemont blue line check.
Yeah, that is 08814.
Thank you.
Here's the point. The police did nothing. There's nothing, right? So think about this. There's a call that those teenagers were harassing people. Whatever. Fact or fiction. I don't know what happened, right? We were here. We seen them screaming and yelling at each other. We seen them what? Taking the whole CTA bus stop, whatever it is. You know what I would tell? If I was the cop, start walking. What do you mean? You're not getting on the CTA. Go walk. Take some of that energy and walk home. Walk home. Or call your parents to pick you up. That's what I would have did. The cops did nothing. They walked away. You got that? So what do the teenagers think? Look at these stupid saps. They don't have to do we can do whatever we want. They don't do nothing to us. There's no punishment. We get on the bus and do whatever we want. That's the lesson. That was the lesson there. That's what you just watched. Whether they're innocent or guilty, those kids, they were screaming. Those kids were screaming. They were huffing on some stuff over there. You seen they were huffing on things, right? They were huffing. Whatever. That's not illegal. But you tell them, you know what? Why don't you take a walk? You're not going to be on you're not taking the bus. And you walk. And you point there. You say, go walk home. And that's what you do. The cops did nothing. There's no consequences for any action. And there's no what? Redirective. What do you call it? When you redirect somebody, right? It doesn't mean they're innocent or guilty. You say, man, just take a walk, man. People are calling about you guys. Take a walk. You're just fine, man. Take a walk. Oh, I don't need to do nothing. Okay, how about your number to your parents? I'm not giving you my number to the parents. I can already anticipate when I say, okay, then let's take you to the station. You can call from the station. Because we got a report that you guys are causing a disturbance down here. That's the scenario. See, when you train as a police officer, you should have these scenarios and you should learn what to do. Those cops didn't have that scenario training. They let them go. They let them do whatever they want. So nothing was resolved. You had someone call. Something happened. Whether it's fact or fiction. Something happened because someone called. We were there. We seen them screaming and huffing on stuff. So there was something going on with them. We don't know what happened. But the cops did nothing. Zero. That's the problem there. Zero. They didn't do nothing except throw them on the bus. Now what do the kids think? Oh, damn, we can do whatever we want. You got how that works. That's the problem there. I'm not saying the cops are good or bad. I'm saying the cops did nothing. Maybe they're not trained right. Maybe they're trained to be social justice. Don't bother teenagers. You can't arrest them. Because there is a policy you can't arrest teenagers. There's a policy inside the Chicago Police Department's policy guidelines. You cannot arrest teenagers. There's an explicit line that says that. Explicitly.
Yep, it is 08949.
And that's why we got the problems we got, right? There we go, right? You witnessed it here, live. Right? We went from the beginning of the call to the end of the call. You seen the car. We followed the car. We seen what was going on, and nothing happened. So why did we send 5 cars there? Why did we send all those resources there? That's a waste of our time. You kind of get what I'm trying to say here? What's the purpose of the cars going there? There was no purpose. There is none, right? Oh, what that is, man. You got a bowl in the middle of the road there, man. Whatever.
With the H3F?
The IDA numbers for Clark and Lake, lower level.
Yeah, that is 08960.
Again, I'm not saying innocence or guilt here. Take control of the situation. Say what you need to do and let them go. See, this is the thing. I know now all those cops, they probably don't have any kids. And if they have kids, they're scared to lose their job, so they won't make a decision. And we can't have police officers. Either they're not trained right or they're scared to make decisions. They need, what did I say the other day? If we unelect, when we unelect, if we unelect Brandon Johnson, it's not going to change. Remember, a lot of these policies came under Lightfoot. A lot of the policies came from Lori Lightfoot. And a lot changed because of why? Because of the, what's his name? 16 shots. Laquan McDonald. That started under Rahm. They switched all of that stuff. It got heavy duty under Rahm. Laquan McDonald, remember that shooting? Shot him in the back, shot him on the ground. And then they covered it up. Well, that's what happens when you do those things. And Rahm was a Democrat, right? So now you have a cover-up There you go. You got a drug addict sitting right there. See that there? Drug addict, right there, man. I don't know if I can get through this alley here. I might not be able to. Might have to back up. Right, so that all started under Rahm. Rahm covered up a shooting of a kid, right? Laquan McDonald. They said he was attacking the cops when he was walking away with a knife. He was on PCP, which is dangerous. I get that. But they covered it up, just like the Rivera shooting in her back, they covered it up, right? So you have cops covering up crimes, whatever. Look, something happens, it happens, go with the punches, right? That's all you can do. You can argue your side and the other side, whatever you want to do. That's something else to do in court, right? But here's the point. Those bad policies against CPD happened under Rahm. Why? Because they covered up Laquan McDonald. That's why. So think about how far back we're going now. How many police officers think about this thing. How many police officers have been hired and trained since Rahm Emanuel? Thousands of them maybe. Who knows? How many policies have changed? At least a dozen. At least a dozen. So now what do we have? If you unelect Brandon Johnson, do you think things are going to change? Absolutely not. You have all those trained cops and you have all those policies. You change Brandon Johnson, it doesn't matter even if you put a Republican in power. You can put a Trump in power in Chicago and nothing will change. Why? Because the policies and the personnel and the administrator, you can even fire Schnelling. Fire Schnelling, no problem. So you get rid of Brandon Johnson, you get rid of Schnelling. Guess what? All the policies are still in place. All the people who were trained are in place. The administrators who administer those policies are in place. That's the problem. Now think about this. Extrapolate that on past the Chicago Police Department. Now go into the school system. Now go into the streets and sanitation system. Go into the county court system. Go into the sheriff system. Go into the water reclamation system. Go into all of those systems. And think about all the people that are in those positions now. How many of them are there that support these neoliberal policies, right? That say, hey, we don't care about blacks. We don't care about drug addicts. We don't care about the homeless. We want to let them die. Everybody knows that. That's neoliberalism, right? Neoliberalism is let them die. That's the fact. These are very dangerous people. They're right towards the Nazis. They're close to the Nazis. They're very, very close to Nazis. They're close. I don't think they are, but they're close. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying here, right? These people want these drug addicts, these homeless. They want them out. They're a scourge. And look, if there's there, then they're going to figure out how to make money off of them. They're going to give them tents. They're going to give them needles. They're going to give them boxed lunches while they drive around in a $100,000 van. While they have a $50,000, $60,000 job. They go to an air-conditioned office and they work 9 to 5. Do you know how many NGOs we've already showed you in the last year? They have 9 to 5 office hours. 9 to 5. Imagine that. You're in Inglewood. You're in North Lawndale. You're in Garfield Park. You're in West Lawn. Wherever you're at. Wherever you're at. You're in Jeffrey Manor. Wherever you're at. And guess what? You have an NGO that's supposed to be for crisis intervention, crime intervention, trauma treatment, drug treatment. And guess what? You have 9 to 5 hours and you're not open on the weekends. When do most crimes happen? They happen at night and on the weekends. Do you get this? Do you get the scam? So they put an NGO into a community saying, look, we're going to help the community. They give them a few $1 million. They buy up, a few of them buy up fire stations. They get them for free or $1. Guess what happens in 5 or 6 years? They're not helping anybody. They make their salaries. They do what they want. They get their accolades. It's called a stepping stone, building up. Some of them are real estate scams. And then what they do, they sell the property off, keep the money, and walk away. And guess what? You got the crime, the drugs, and you got the same stuff in the neighborhoods. You go, we'll drive around. I don't know where we're going to drive around today. You'll see it today. You'll see a brand new building. Where is that? On Costner or Kildare? On Madison and Kildare? There's a $80 million building, and they do drugs right in front of it. They do drugs right in front of the building. And you know what the building is? It's called a wellness center. It's a wellness center, but yet the drug addicts and the drug dealers are right in front of the building. Like, well, that don't make no sense. What is that? It's like the learning centers out in Minneapolis, right? They're learning centers, but there's no students in the learning center. Kind of weird, right? So you have wellness centers where they sell drugs, but yet the drug addicts are sitting outside doing drugs. They're not inside. You're not getting well. And you see some people on the treadmills. They're all healthy and everything. It's funny. I mean, we videotape this. I mean, when we put those up, we get attacked right away. Yesterday, we got attacked on Instagram. Instagram is the attack grounds now. We put up the one on when we were at the Lathrop Homes yesterday. We got attacked by 8 or 9 people on Instagram. Oh, you're a racist. You're this. You're like, racist? I just said blacks should be living in that building. You're a racist, son. Wait, I said blacks should be living there. They got kicked out of there. Well, you know why? Because they're the people that either work for the city or they work for the developers or they're schemers, right? They want to make money off of that. Or they own condos around there and they don't want the blacks living there, right? And it don't matter. It can be blacks too that are doing that stuff. It doesn't matter. They're part of that group that don't like poor people. They don't like people that have a problem. They don't like drug addicts. They don't like certain things. So they figure this way. Give them more drugs. Let them do what they want. And they'll go away. And that's not the truth. That doesn't work like that. Look, if I don't put oil in my car, if I don't fix my steering, if I don't fix the rust, guess what? My engine's gonna blow up, I'm gonna crash into a wall, and my body's gonna rust away. So I have to fix those things. You can't just leave them go and say it'll fix itself. It doesn't go like that. And I can't make money off my car if I don't fix it. If my car makes me money, then I have to fix it and repair it and keep it going. Unless I would just want to get rid of it. So that's the problem we're dealing with now in this city. We have those types of people running our city. You'll see them right now. There'll be a bunch of drug addicts right over here. How come there's drug addicts in downtown? And look, I don't want to say this and people get mad at me. I don't know how to say this. The drug dealers are they're here. It's a business, right? I get that. Is it good or bad? But I told you, they're not buying the drugs in the west side and coming and doing them here in downtown. The drug dealers came to the customers. Their customers are downtown here. Right? Yeah, Ms. Zidor, that was a funny one. What's up? What's up? Happy Humpy time. I love that. Was a Nick Shirley. That was a great one. Learning Center. Hey, wait, it's misspelled. That was a good one, wasn't it? That was the best one ever. Let's do some radio calls. Then we'll listen to the 5 o'clock news, right? Has anybody seen the reports yet on what happened at Grant Park? Did the mainstream media pick that story up, or they're ignoring it? The shooting in Grant Park, the murder. The one that just happened a few blocks from here 2 days ago. At midnight, yeah. I think they're ignoring it. Man, look at all the empty streets here. I got a videotape for this one. Let's go there. There's an ambulance here, right? SubX.News. It's 4:56 p.m. We're gonna do a little videotape in here, and we're on going south on Wells, and you're gonna say, John, you see, there's a lot of cars right now. There's a lot of traffic. First of all, no, there isn't a lot of traffic. You know how I know there's not a lot of traffic? Oh, the surface parking is empty. See that there? Look, there's no people walking on the sidewalk. All those spots are empty on this side. See that there? There's some traffic here, and it's not regular traffic. This is just bottlenecking, that's all, right? There's a couple of buses in front of us. So remember, you got to look at things that you don't think matter. And what matters in downtown here is what? The surface parking, right? If it's empty, that means there's no one here. Now here it's a little more crowded. It looks like Ubers are picking people up. Right? We're going a little bit on Lake Street, right? Now you see some empty spaces there, right? See a bunch of, now you see flashers on, so there must be picking up. But now you see no traffic here again, right? And again, it's 4:58 p.m. You can hear it. I'll put on the radio. I'm not making it up. Right. See that? Once you start moving, I can smell the weed out here. I see empty stores, right? And that's what you got down here, right? You got a place that is not functioning as a city anymore, right? Oh man, I don't. We can't have no music to ban us, right?
Next report, 508 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Neil, we've got the sun.
There's a bunch of drug dealers
sunshine
over there,
returning downtown right now. Still some chances for thunderstorms.
See all those four guys standing there?
South of I-80 will keep it posted.
There's a bunch of
69
people
degrees
right
now
there.
at 4:59.
There's a bunch of people standing there.
Featuring the news that matters.
They're openly selling and using drugs here.
This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM, the Chicago City Council gets on board with Mayor Johnson's plan to buy the downtown Greyhound station. A multi-million-dollar settlement announced in connection with a deadly shooting in Elk Grove Village. Plus, President Trump offers more insight on that memo of understanding with Iran. Latest on that coming up from CBS News. Cubs hosting the Rockies tonight. Sox battle the Yankees.
Wall Street ended the day on sharp declines after the Fed's decision to hold interest rates steady. The Dow plummeted 506 points, the Nasdaq fell 354, and the S&P lost 91 points. I'm Monica Riggs at Bloomberg Weather Center. 69 degrees
That guy across the street will move once he realizes I'm watching him. Keeps everybody else over here, right?
Terms of the proposed memo of understanding between the U.S. and Iran set to be signed Friday in Geneva. It calls for an immediate ceasefire on all fronts, including Lebanon, reopens the Strait of Hormuz, and resumes nuclear talks. President Trump says billions of Iranian funds could also be unfrozen if Iran behaves. ABC's Jonathan Karl says the deal falls short, though, of the joint agreement made during the Obama administration on nuclear program.
This is under the Obama deal. Iran reaffirms that under no circumstances will Iran ever, no time limit, will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire any nuclear weapons. So that is something that was already in place in the agreement that President Trump ripped up during his first term. So there's going to be a lot of criticism of this agreement, and a lot of it coming from the people that were cheering the president on when he engaged on this military operation in the first place.
Iranian parliament member Mohammad Ghalibaf in an interview with Iran State TV claiming Iran won over the great military power. The FBI continues to search for more suspects in the alleged drone plot targeting Sunday's White House UFC event. 5 people have been charged. Authorities say more than 20 others may have been involved in the plan.
That initial tip was given to the FBI by a local police department in Ohio after a mother of a 19-year-old suspect charged in these cases called because she was so concerned about him amassing all of these weapons and the concerning conversations that he was having online. And that led the FBI to then get a confession from him and search his phone and uncover this plot where they would have launched explosive drones at the actual fight and then followed that as people were fleeing the South Lawn. They planned to position snipers who would take out high-value targets.
ABC's Alex Mallon. Along the Gulf Coast, residents bracing for Tropical Storm Arthur, the first storm of the hurricane season. You're listening to ABC News.
Grandma, these pierogies are delicious.
Oh, thanks you.
I'm not done.
Sorry.
Why are you wearing your best babushka?
We go First American Bank, so Grandma proves she no robot.
What?
Francis Lakumskis tell me banks now use fakey smartness to know you real.
Oh, you mean artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
Grandma, AI is a tool banks use. First American knows you're real.
Well, Francis Lakumskis tell me to get best loan for new kitchen, Grandma need prove she real grandma.
No, Grandma, you applied for a First American Bank home equity loan because First American has the best loan deals in town.
Yeah.
Remember we spoke with the First American Bank specialist about the loan?
Maybe she a robot.
No, First American is famous for incredible real live personal service.
Pinch me anyway, show I real grandma.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, that no pinch. This a pinch.
Ow!
Good to know you real, Junior.
First American Bank, the bank that does more for your money. Visit firstambank.com or call us at 847-952-3700. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Chicago's news.
3 Wednesday, the 17th day of June. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Fielding. The sun has returned. Partly sunny skies, 69 degrees after a kind of dark, rainy morning. Most of the rain right now moving on into the northwest Indiana area right now. Still a chance for severe storms for folks south of I-80.
There's a drug dealer at the end
just
of the block
67 today. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 5:15. First at 5, Aldermen in Chicago giving their final approval to the mayor's plan to take over the city's Greyhound bus terminal.
The Johnson administration says it intends to spend a little more than $19 million in economic development funds to buy the station on Harrison Street.
Right?
It's in the ward of Alderman
see
Bill
that?
Conway.
They were doing gang signs. Didn't you see him doing gang signs? That's how life is out here, right? This is a gang. This is gang drug area right here, right? This ain't homeless encampment. This is a drug encampment. It's a drug encampment here. Don't get fooled. Don't be fooled by these liberals. Remember, they're the ones that are selling the drugs. They're the ones that are selling what? The needles, the pipes. Got that? Here, I always say this. How does a 14-year-old get a gun? You can't. It's illegal. How come we never heard how the 14-year-old got a gun? Do they ever investigate how a 14-year-old kid in Chicago gets a gun? We ever get that type of a report? We don't. We never do. Because they know where it leads back to. It leads back to the liberals. It leads back to the liberals.
23-year-old Jack Murray was shot and killed by Elk Grove Village Police on December 1st of 2023. His family said he was having some kind of mental health crisis. However, this is what Elk Grove Village Mayor Craig Johnson and Murray's attorney, Antonio Romanucci, had to say.
And I commend them for following the appropriate protocols throughout a tense and difficult situation.
And what concerns me are the words of the mayor last night, condoning and endorsing and backing the blue for this killing.
Romanucci and Blandon filed the wrongful death lawsuit in May of 2024. Well, a meteorologist who specializes in severe weather warnings says the Midwest has seen a surprising number of heavy storms so far this spring, and that trend may continue.
Like many of us, Evan Bentley, warning coordination meteorologist with the National Weather Service, was keeping a close eye on last week's severe storms in Illinois and Indiana.
That was a threat that we saw coming, although with any of these events, it's always pretty challenging because you end up with storms that occur, especially this time of year, early in the day, and the question is how much heating are you going to get in the wake of those storms? If it occurs, oftentimes that's the most volatile environment, which is what happened last week.
Illinois has already confirmed nearly 140 tornadoes, including several EF3 systems this year, which Bentley contributes to an early start to storm season in the Midwest.
It looks like we're going to stay in a fairly active pattern across the Midwest, continuing through the end of the month of June.
And given what he calls a jarring season so far, Bentley says it's hard to predict how the rest of the year will play out. So, be prepared.
It's really important that everyone just has multiple ways to receive watches and warnings, and also to know what your specific vulnerability is.
Andy Dames, Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, before new federal work requirements for people in Medicaid kick in next year, a leading medical group of cancer doctors urging Illinois and other states to make it as easy as possible for patients to comply.
Dr. Julie Graylow, Chief Medical Officer of the Association for Clinical Oncology, says losing your Medicaid benefits, even for a short time, could be devastating for patients on cancer drugs that cost thousands of dollars per month.
So if you have a gap in your Medicaid coverage, anything that happens during that gap period, it's not guaranteed that there would be anything retroactive covered.
So the ASCO is encouraging recipients to press Governor Pritzker to ease the burdens via automating the exemption process.
We already know this information that's being required, so don't make the system where the patient has to duplicate effort and submit all of the coverage.
Starting in January, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act requires adults on Medicaid to work or volunteer 80 hours a month, something Dr. Graylow says could be extremely difficult for those also battling cancer. Lindsay Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
There's another happy chapter in the continuing story, if you're following, of the endangered piping plover population. 4 eggs washed away.
So listen to this.
Storms. They were recovered.
Listen to this one. You see how the liberals are scam artists? Do you see how they want to enslave people with welfare, Medicaid, Medicare. They want to enslave people. They want you to be their slave. Why? Because they make money off of it. The more people that are enslaved, the more salaries they get. The more NGOs there are. So think about this. What's the biggest thing we learned about COVID? What is the biggest thing we learned about COVID? Work from home. And who says work from home? The liberals do. The liberals say work from home. Think about the scam here. What this story was about. They can't work. They can't work. They can't work. And think about, we have AI now. Elon Musk says AI. And what's the biggest thing about AI? Everybody knows what's about AI and robotics. Disabled people can work then. You know, you don't even have to be functional with your hands anymore. They can implant a microchip by your brain, and you can talk through your brain now and your eyes. You can function normally. Maybe you can't move your body. Maybe your body doesn't work, but your mind still works. They proved that. So think about how nasty and corrupt the liberals are. They're so scummy, and they so much lie into our faces. First of all, they made us work from home from COVID, right? They said no one can go to work. Downtown is empty in Chicago. And they say, oh, that's COVID. That's remote Monday. It's remote Monday. So then when Trump says you need to go to work for 80 hours a month to collect unemployment, to collect Medicare, to collect welfare, what do they say? Oh, you can't do that. That's discriminatory. People can't work. Well, wait up. Sure you can. You can work from home. You can do computer work. You can answer phone calls. You can do all types of work now from home. You can even do remote work through the video, and you can tell people what they do. You don't need to be there. You know, there's some hands-on work that still need to be done, like cooking, like mechanics, construction, cleaning. But there's a lot of work that can be done processing information, call intake, follow up, doing reports. You can do a lot of those things, right? Remotely now, which they've promoted, remote Mondays, right? When I did my videos 3 years ago about the empty Monday, all the liberals attacked me. They said, you're a stupid man. You're stupid. You're a fool. Right? Like today now, they're saying I'm a racist for showing empty CHA buildings. But before, when I said empty downtown, they said I was a fool and I'm lying and I'm cheating, right? Look, there's no one here. It's a few people walking. This ain't nobody here. It's 5:10. There's no one walking here. This should be packed with cars. This should be packed for 3-4 blocks, end to end. There's a reason it's a 4-lane road. This is a 4-lane road, 2 ways. There's a reason for that, because they know there was a lot of traffic here. So they used to call me that. And now when the president says you got to go to work, they said, oh, they can't work. Well, wait up, they can work remotely. Think about the lies they do. What do they say about lying? Sometimes you lie so much you don't know what you lied about anymore. So they lied so much they don't know what they lied about. Period. And I've been saying this for like 6 or 7 years. We're in a downturn in an economy from 2008, from the predatory loans. We never got out of that. We never got out of that technically. We propped up businesses artificially. Trump is doing a little bit of different stuff, right? He knows it's a bad economy. And he knows he has to do something. He has to wipe out Venezuela. What is he doing? He's wiping out Venezuela and he's taking it over, right? Why? Oil. What is he doing? He's wiping out Iran and taking it over. Why? Because of oil. You got the two things there. Do you get the two scenarios there? The two. And the last one, he might go, I don't know where he's going to go next. Maybe Russia, maybe something. I don't know, but Russia really don't give us nothing. Maybe China gives us something. He's going to maybe do, I think in the last 2 years of office, he's going to try to do with China something. I don't know. We'll see. But the point I'm trying to make is here. He knows what he needs to do. He needs to reduce prices. So what does he do? He goes after the petroleum. He went after Venezuela, knocked it out. What did they have? They had sanctions for how many years? And he knocked the sanction out. The oil is flowing now. What is he doing with Iran? They had a bunch of sanctions now, and they're going to run the oil now. So he's got two major oil-producing countries. Venezuela is actually the biggest. It was at one time the biggest producer of oil in the world. Venezuela, look it up. Look up the history about them. Except they got taken over by socialism and communism, and that all went away, right? But think about what Trump is doing. He's very strategic on this. He understands these things, right? Whether you like him or not. I don't like that he went to war. I don't think he should have did that. Right? That guy was messed up in his Mercedes there, right? So, but the idea is this. Whether you like Trump or not, and I don't like what some of the things that Trump does, he's trying to do something for the future, right? He's doing things to the future. When he knocks out Venezuela, he knocks out Iran, he's doing what? For the future. He knows he got to get that oil flowing for who? The main person that needs the oil is who? China. China needs the oil. So does Japan, so does a lot of those Asian countries, because they don't produce oil. And India, right, doesn't produce oil. So they need a lot more, and those are growing economies. India is actually going to surpass China at one time, right? India shoots rockets and all of these things. They're a little more advanced. They're scientifically and mathematically brain smarter than China. China repeats and is more hardworking because of the communism, right? Where India is a lot more smarter, right? Because they had the British backing over there, or the colonialism. Here's what I want to say. Trump understands that, and he's doing strategically for the future, right? The liberals, they lie and they cheat. They want to steal. That's all they want to do. They want to steal. They want to take your house. They want to cause gentrification. They drop a little drugs in there, a little meth, some dope dealers, some homeless people. Guess what? You're going to move because you don't want your kids growing up around that stuff. So you move, you can sell a house cheap. Guess what? The liberal comes in, buys your house cheap, and sells it for a higher price than the next person. Just like Lathrop Homes over there. You know, look around there. We already did the videos from Lathrop Homes multiple times. There's $2 million houses right across from the project. $2 million houses across from the project. $2 million. We checked the price over there. It's Oakley over there. Remember that? I got the videos. I'll dig them up. We did it together. That's when I first started doing the real estate on the video. I said, you know what? Let's do this live. While I was live, we checked out the real estate prices. There was $2 million homes by Lathrop over there. While you have boarded up projects, do you think they want poor people back there? It don't matter if they're black, white, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Chinese. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. They don't want poor people there. They want that housing for themselves, or they want to bulldoze it and build something else. That's what they want over there. And that's liberals doing that. Now here's the problem with this. The Republicans are guilty too. If you listen to today's report on the Greyhound bus, what do they say? No, not on the Greyhound bus, on the report on the parking meter deal. Inside the parking meter deal, they said there's a company that did what? It worked with ICE shipping, and there was Republican companies. Republican companies made a ton of money shipping those migrants all around, and not only buses, but what? Planes, chartered planes. That's why we don't have no investigations of the Republicans, whether in D.C. or in Illinois, because the Republicans are just as guilty as the Democrats. Red or blue, we always lose. Red or blue, we always lose. Look at that big pothole right there. Oh my gosh. That's a 10-foot pothole there. Look at that. See that pothole? Oh man, predatory towing. Guess what, everybody? Hey, another segment of SubX.News, predatory towing. There you go. There you go. How about that one, huh? You get to see predatory towing right there. But you get how this works? It's all about the money. It doesn't matter to Republicans or Democrats, but the liberals really lie a lot. That remote work is pretty nasty. To say they can't work. Well, you can't work. You can remote work now, right? It's kind of funny, isn't it? You can do all those jobs. You can give all of those clerical intake phone jobs, remote jobs. You can give all those remote and work from home jobs where you process paperwork. You can do it all from home now and remotely. And what? You can produce. And then all the people who are able-bodied can go work, right? The able-bodied. Here's the problem. The liberals don't want to go do hard work. They want to stay in the office and do nothing. That's why. All right. Let's see. It's 5:17 p.m. Let's see if we see any predatory towing out here, right? By Millennium Park. And we got a tow truck there, right? Let's see what happens. And maybe we go across the street and watch what happens here. There we go. Predatory towing. Oh, I gotta get out of the bike lane, right? I'm kind of in the bike lane, so let's get out of the bike lane. I don't want the bike lane people to say I'm blocking the bike lanes here, right? There we go. We're out of the bike lane, right? How's that? A little better? Let's see how many cars this guy tows. What do you guys think? Oh, they tow him here, brother. It's $250 a tow. I seen 4 cars towed at once. There's a fire engine over there. Something's going on. Maybe we should check out that fire engine. See the fire engine over there? Something's going on. See that there? And I'm setting up a new sound system in my car.
Some injuries are involved. You have a lot of cleanup, obviously, and a bridge inspection coming as well. So not sure how long this is going to be in place. Again, on the Kennedy inbound at the Hubbard Street Tunnel, where you're just getting by in the right lane. Exit where you can and use Milwaukee Avenue or Elston. Take either one of those into downtown. You're an hour 20 just about from O'Hare Inn, 50 minutes off the junction. Papers delay outbound, but once you get past the Hubbard Street Tunnel, you're looking good until about...
I guess he's waiting. What they do is they wait, they watch you, they clock the 15 minutes or whatever, and then they tow you.
55 in Will County still, northbound before Joliet Road. A crash now, a new one, 957.
We can go see the Hubbard's Cave crash when we go over there.
Street, so we're seeing some delays there on the tollways and back up on the Tri-State northbound from I-57 and past 147th. Metal debris reported across multiple lanes. Northwest Indiana, a real drag all over the place. Coming westbound, 65 to Broadway, some good news there. Crash we had now gone, but you have flooding upon the eastbound right around Klein Avenue.
Predatory towing.
And that's why you're heavy from the Bishop Ford Freeway. Spin-out crash on I-94 westbound before the Indiana toll road.
Predatory towing. So he sits there waiting to tow somebody. That's the predator, right?
Jammed up as you make your way through Michigan City.
Oh man, they got a heavy ambulance presence here.
Truck scales before US 421. Stalled semi in the right lane and flooding with delays on.
We're gonna go to Hubbard's Cave. How about that?
Before 61st Avenue.
We're gonna go see that crash.
By JetBuysYourHouse.com. The fast lane is selling your house. No delays, no detours. Just a quick, easy
ambulance
sale.
over here, right?
Skip the stress of repairs, showings, and waiting for the right buyer. Visit JeffBuysYourHouse.com.
I'll throw this on a little bit on Citizen app.
JeffBuysYourHouse.com. Next report, 528, News Radio 105.9.
Let me throw this on Citizen app so it gets recorded. Right?
Have expired because we have seen the rain kind of move past into Northwest Indiana right now. Everything's calm in the Chicagoland area, especially around the northern part. Cloudy
that way it gets logged for me.
Periods of rain still in the forecast. Maybe a shower tonight, a low of 60. Sunshine tomorrow, high of 74, 69 degrees at North Airport, 67 Lakefront at 520. Our top story this hour, the City Council in Chicago approves of sizable settlement connected with a crash that involved CPT officers and 2 women critically injured. That story coming up at 5:31. A new proposal to rename a popular venue.
It's 5:20 p.m. We're on Upper Randolph. I believe we're at 340 East Randolph. There's a fire truck here. It doesn't have a number, and there's an ambulance here that doesn't have a number. They come out of the Stetson station over here. So they're doing some EMS work out here in the high rise. That's what we're watching here, right? 340 East Randolph, I believe. Upper Randolph, we're right here by Millennium Park. That's Millennium Park right there. The beans over there. We're in downtown Chicago. Right? Watches guys leave their car, he sits there and tows them. Instead of telling them they're parked illegally, he sits there and tows them. That's another story for another day. That guy, he's predatory towing. That's a city tow.
mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
For 35 years, It's Just Lunch has helped singles find real relationships through personalized matchmaking. Instead of endless swiping and frustrating apps, our local matchmakers take the time to get to know each client and hand-select compatible matches based on relationship goals, values, and lifestyle. This June, It's Just Lunch is celebrating its 35th anniversary. Connect with your local matchmaker to learn more about our special anniversary offer. Call 312-881-5225 or visit itsjustlunchchicago.com.
The Federal Reserve kicked off a new era with Kevin Warsh at the helm, leaving interest rates unchanged today. But members were split on possible rate hikes later this year. And traders on Wall Street weren't happy. The Dow plummeted 507 points, the NASDAQ lost 354 points, and the S&P fell 91. Earlier today, we got new retail sales numbers, and those were better than expected, up 0.9% in May, despite higher gas prices and inflation.
Oh man, how many of those tow trucks just passed us by? See that there?
To enter the booming obesity market. Instead, it's focusing on diseases and aims to be the world's leading cancer company by 2030. And just in time for summer, Bass Pro Shops is expanding its portfolio and buying another historic fishing lodge in the Florida Keys. The outdoor retailer says it wants its customers to connect more with nature. This report is sponsored by Vanguard Investor Choice, a proxy voting program for eligible Vanguard index funds. With business at 23 and 53 from the Bloomberg Newsroom, I'm Monica Ricks, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Troubles in Northwest Indiana now, and I know the rain could be contributing. We're going to check in with what, why, and where coming up with that.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning. It was online. And they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices. And it smelled like it.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
Oh.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices can instantly.
What do you want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Man, the wind's blowing in back of us, huh? Activity over here on 340 East Randolph. 5:20 p.m. June 17th, 2026.
40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spinal veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs,
And you hear a lot of
cramping, aching,
sirens going on.
syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious heart risks like blood clots. USA Vein clinics offer minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 224-215-2984 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Call 224-215-2984 for free information. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein clinics.
You can hear the sirens, can't you? Listen to the sirens in the background.
That number was 95th on the red line. We're going to be on the north station. Yep, that is 09458.
Now you hear multiple sirens going on.
712. 4712. That'll be done at Rick for the company. You got it, sir.
There's something else. There's another fire truck coming here. Look at that. I don't know what's going on. Something else. See that right there? I don't know if they're coming here or what. That's ladder truck number 3. Looks like they're coming. Yeah, they're coming here. I gotta move, right? So ladder truck number 3 is here now. We're gonna turn around. Try to get you what's going on here, right? We gotta go around. We can't do that. We'll get a ticket. That ladder truck number 3 just showed up. We're gonna see what's going on here. So this is something big over here, maybe. Ladder truck number 3 just showed up. Ladder truck number 3 just showed up, 5:28 p.m. What am I doing here? I'll show you the ladder truck. Just showed up. So something's going on here. Let's go see what they're doing.
Hey, 730 Boy. I think that you guys line at 796. Drop and check. Yep, it is 09491.
So ladder truck number 3. See that thing? They're going into. Ladder truck number 3 just showed up.
Charlie.
They're going into.
Yep, it is
360 Randolph.
09494.
They're going into 360 Randolph right there. See that there? So something's going on in there. We had to get out of their way, right? So we're gonna see what's going on here. Maybe we'll have to get on the fire channel and see what's going on here, right?
Adam. 5700 Adam. Just a heads up, I'm going to be tracking a 2018 Jeep Compass, Tennessee plate, Boy King Robert 9424. It's entered as a felony vehicle out of Oakbrook. Wanted for felony retail theft. Alright, 10-4. Again, it's going to be 2018 Jeep Compass, Boy King Robert 9424 out of Tennessee. Oakbrook took a felony retail theft report on it.
They went into 360 East Randolph. It's windy out here. They went into this building right next to me. See the barrels rolling?
And that Jeep Compass is gray. I believe I forgot to mention. Gray Jeep Compass, Boy King Robert 9424 out of low voltage. They took on 2 YSL bags, approximately 5,000 and low voltage. Worth about 5 grand. Low voltage.
Low voltage.
Alrighty, let's see what we can hear to fix this.
Low voltage.
Low voltage. I'm kind of getting tired of that. What do you guys think?
Low voltage.
Low voltage. Low voltage.
Low voltage.
Alrighty, that's enough of that. That's kind of aggravating. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We're gonna try to get you guys on the oh, the news is on.
Condos and 320,000 square feet of retail space. Another would have twice as much housing. Both would include open and entertainment spaces. Levine and village leaders stress this is just the starting point. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
5:34 World News Now. The U.S. and Iran set to return to the negotiating table, but sources say the head of the CIA is skeptical about Iran's intentions.
Miss Zedor's going, low voltage. Low voltage. Oh man, we're a bunch of knuckleheads. we you know what, Marietta, we're gonna have to plan that tour or something. We're gonna do a tour, we're gonna get a hotel room, we're gonna all have a spa day or something. I don't know. We're all gonna get jacuzzis, manicures, and all of that fancy stuff. Low voltage.
The White House ballroom project won't be entirely privately funded. The contractor who is in charge of the project now says it will cost about $600 million instead of the $400 million the president initially said.
Now, despite his repeated claims that this project wouldn't cost taxpayers a dime, Trump and his administration are asking Congress for $1 billion in taxpayer money to cover security upgrades associated with this project. Now, when asked about this new reporting and just how much taxpayers will be footing up this bill, the White House tells us the ballroom project is, quote, inextricably tied to the security of the president, the White House grounds, and certain security infrastructure assets. But in that statement, they notably don't deny this new reporting.
As ABC's Mary Bruce, taxpayers are now poised to foot about half the cost. The Department of Labor telling states that they have to combat fraud, waste, and abuse in their unemployment insurance programs. And if they don't, states could have their administrative funds withheld. Today's warning was the latest in a line of announced actions that address fraud in state-run programs that use federal money. The department did not explain the source of those allegations, but said states will receive further directives in the coming weeks. And the Commerce Department says retail sales rose 0.9% in May.
Economists say that's likely because a lot of people had tax return money to spend. But they say that cash cushion is starting to fade. Excluding gas stations, retail sales rose 0.7%.
That gas cushion, huh?
Business at clothing, accessory, and furniture stores all posted increases. But there was a drop in spending at electronics and appliance stores. Economists say spending has remained resilient so far this year, despite rising prices.
The fire
Donna Warner, Washington.
At U.S. Waterproofing, when we're called to fix a basement water problem, we get it fixed right, and we'll treat
you hear all the ambulances in back of us, right? They're in this building here. They're in this building here. They're in this building right there. They're not in that building. They're in this building right here. That's where they all walked in there. I don't know what's going on. They're in this building, by the way, everybody. Right there. They're in that building. We're going to try to get you guys the radio calls and maybe we can hear what's going on here, right?
Yeah, no problem. 383 George. 783 George. Yep, that is 09257. 7323. Put me on the cup detail, please. Yeah, 7383 items.
Please, platform check, Clark and Lake.
Yep, that
there's a lot of stuff going down south of us.
73. 87 Adams. 787 Adam.
Yes, well, I have a number for bus route. I'm going to be heading westbound 79 from
Okay, that is 09286.
Adam on board.
85 Adam or 89 Adam?
89 Adam plus.
Hey, listen. There's something going on to the south of us, too. Bad.
Yep, that is 09302.
4714.
4714.
Fully dominated today, Chicago's Cubs game.
It's happening right underneath us. They just put somebody in the ambulance, right?
Yep, that is
somebody, hopefully you're okay.
Yeah, long term. 30 Chicago.
Yep, that is 09339.
For Roosevelt State.
Yeah, it's going to be 09394.
388 boy.
388 boy.
Van for Chat Blue, please.
Yep, that is 09430.
7387 Adam.
787 Adam.
So, some 79 from Peoria, westbound.
Yep, that's going to give you 09434.
383 Adam.
733 Adam.
So that number was 95th on the red line, looking at the North Station.
Yep, that is 09458.
4712.
4712.
$1,000 rating for the company.
You got it, sir.
72 points.
733 points.
How can I get a 58 red line with 79 drop up check?
Yep, it is 09490.
83 Charlie.
783 Charlie.
Number 69 on the red line is platform check.
Yep, that is 09494.
100 Adam.
5700 Adam.
Hey, just a heads up, I'm going to be breaking a 2018 Jeep Compass, Kennedy plate, Bowie King Robert 9424. It's entered as a felon vehicle out of Oakbrook. Wanted for only retail theft.
Alright, 10 for, again, it's going to be 2018 Jeep Compass, Bowie King Robert 9424 out of Tennessee. Oakbrook took a felony retail theft report on it.
Jeep Compass felony vehicle out of Oak Brook stole over $4,000. Need me to get out of here?
No, you're fine.
What was the plates on that Jeep Compass? Anybody hear that one?
Under Adam.
5700 Adam.
Hey, just a heads up, I'm going to be breaking a 2018 Jeep Compass, Kennedy plate, Bowie King, Robert 9424. It's entered as a stolen vehicle out of Oak Brook. Wanted for only resale theft.
Alright, 10-4. Again, it's going to be 2018 Jeep Compass, Bowie King, Robert 9424 out of Tennessee. Oak Brook took a felony retail theft report on it. And that Jeep Compass is gray. I believe I forgot to mention. Gray Jeep Compass. Bowie King Robert 9424 out of Tennessee.
Maybe they took 2 YSL bags, approximately 5,000 in value.
Oh boy, yeah, that'll do it. Alright, 2 YSL bags worth about $5,000.
Just heard it, right? What was that there? Let's get out of here, right? Ready to get out of here? We gonna go see that crash on the Hubbard Cave over there? Let's go. Alright. Where to next, everybody? That's just in the radio calls, right?
83 Adam.
7383 Adam.
Fifth and red line, the south station, please.
Yep, that is 09546. It is at 5 in the citywide with the person with the ground car. 10901 South Vernon. 10901 South Vernon. He got a stairs. Collins said a female black with a gray Nissan SUV. So prohibiting him from exiting the alley. And she was play the car. Probably have enough further zone.
383 David.
783 David.
Can I get an event number? 5 Street red line on the platform.
Yep, that is 09599.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 3214. 3214. Hey, good evening. When you're up and rolling, I got someone walking on the drive, 1000 north in the northbound left lane. Male, 30 to 40 years of age, with a beanie, blue hoodie, and jeans.
7387 Adam.
7387 Adam.
We have a number for bus route 79 and Aspen heading westbound.
Alright, that one is 09615.
I'm having trouble connecting to your device. Make sure your speaker is paired, and then restart the UE app. I'm having trouble connecting to your device. Make sure your speaker is paired, and then restart the UE app.
83 Ida.
7383 Ida.
I'm having trouble connecting to your device. Make sure your speaker is paired, and then restart the UE app.
383 George.
733 George.
Punch at Roosevelt Clinton.
Alright, that is 09641. Hey, 5700 Adam, they caught the expensive purse snatchers.
Yes.
7383 Eddie.
35th, please.
Yep, that is 09659.
383 Charlie.
7383 Charlie.
They caught the expensive purse snatchers.
Yep,
They
that
caught
is
the expensive purse
09661.
snatchers. Ready to get out of here, everybody? We're caught up on the radio calls. That was pretty fast, eh?
Yes.
7383 Eddie.
35th, please.
733 Charlie.
It's not better. That number 46 times.
83 Ida.
I got 5540 south on Windworth. The male states that the female is inside with him and there's a gun. And yes, they have been three. We got no further. Second district on them.
They caught the expensive purse snatchers.
83 Ida.
7383 Ida.
This, please, Clark and Lake.
Yep, that is 096.
383 George.
733 George.
Punch at Roosevelt Clinton.
Alright, that is 5700 Adam. They caught the
383 George.
733 George.
Punch at Roosevelt Clinton.
Alright, that is 09641.
See, my other phone freezes. See that? I need to get another phone. And I don't, my other phone don't hold battery, so that's just the way life goes. Alright, so we're gonna try this here, right?
Hey, 5700 Adam, they caught the expensive purse snatchers. Hey, 5700 Adam, they caught the expensive purse snatchers.
Yes.
733 Eddie.
35th, please.
Yep, that is 09659.
383 Charlie.
733 Charlie.
It's not better. That number 46 times through that line.
Yep, that is 09661.
Ready to go?
Check your keys, guys. Somebody didn't open the key there. Watch your keys, please. 738. I can't talk. 7387 Adam. Go ahead.
I just have one number for Park Route 79 from German, heading westbound.
We're gonna go to that crash on Hubbard, right?
Yep, that is going to be 09697.
Alright, we're caught up with our radio calls, man. We're moving right along today. What if your cheap purse was stolen? Ollie's like, oh, you ain't getting it back. If your car is stolen, you ain't getting it back. We're going to Hubbard's Cave. I don't know which. I should have went on Lower Wacker over here and popped out over there. Yeah, I should have went the other way. It's not that bad here. Maybe we'll go straight. We'll go straight on Randolph and pop on we'll pop on Des Plaines going north of Canal Street over here. We're gonna go see there's a bad accident. A truck hit the viaduct over here or something and smashed a few cars. We're gonna go see that over here. That's next.
Sunbury, some boy.
Sunbury, southbound, 40th Street.
Yep, that is 09731.
See, the tow truck guy's right there. Predatory towing. Right there, man. He's gonna snatch you, man. There you go, man. That's how life goes, man. Gotta keep moving. If you don't keep moving, the Reaper or the tow man's gonna get you. Oh, man. Craziness, craziness. I haven't even moved, what, about a mile or two, right? There's been so much stuff happening downtown today. And like I said, it's some of these crime chasers, what they do is they focus on these big things, like whatever, right? But most of the crime is this low-level stuff, and that then snowballs up, right? It's like I just talked about the car. You need to take care of your oil and the rust, right?
Can I get a VIN number for Wrigley, please?
Yep, 10-4.
I'm trying to do something here with something else too, by the way. I'm in the middle of doing something. I'm trying to do something interactive today. I'm seeing what I can do here. And I don't know if I can do it, but I'm trying it.
$88 boy.
$78 boy.
I'm having trouble connecting to your device. Make sure your speaker is paired, and then restart the UE app.
A little more people here, which is good. It's good to see people here. And I guess this is a little entertainment here. Ronnie's used to be over here, right? Ronnie's was over here, right? Where the art store is now, right? You gonna go? Let me go, my brother. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do, my brother? You ain't going through here. You got that big bus, bro. So you can beep your horn all you want. You can beep all you want. One of my favorite McDonald's right there. That was one of my favorite McDonald's right there. That's closed.
83 Adam.
73 Adam.
For 95th, left line, north platform.
Yep, that is 09763. Alright, for the air, the AC district is behind.
I'm having trouble connecting to your device. Make sure your speaker is paired, and then restart the UE app.
From Orleans, westbound Ontario feeder from Orleans. This is going to be a Black Dodge Journey. Black Dodge Journey, Wisconsin plate, Adam John Mary.
That's right here.
7304. Adam John Mary, 7304. A known suspect took the vehicle from Madison, Wisconsin. It was armed with a black revolver. Again, westbound on the Ontario feeder from Orleans.
There you go. Known offender from Wisconsin with the revolver on the Ontario feeder ramp at Orleans. What kind of car did they say yes?
88 boy.
78 boy. Yep, that is
83 Adam.
73 Adam.
For 95th, left line, north platform.
Yep, that is 09763. Alright, for the air, the AC district is behind a stolen vehicle with an armed occupant. Currently entering westbound Ontario ramp from Orleans, westbound Ontario feeder from Orleans. This is going to be a Black Dodge Journey. Black Dodge Journey with John Mary 7304. Adam John Mary 7304. A known suspect took the vehicle from Madison, Wisconsin. It was armed with a black revolver. Again, westbound on the Ontario feeder from Orleans.
391, boys.
91, boys.
33 Adam.
793 Adam.
For 95th, left line, north platform.
Yep, that is 09763 ramp from Orleans, westbound Ontario feeder from Orleans. Is going to be a black Dodge Journey. Black Dodge Journey, Wisconsin plate, Adam John Mary 7304. Adam John Mary 7304. A known suspect took the vehicle from Madison,
Black Dodge Journey.
Was armed with a black revolver. Again, westbound on the Ontario feeder from Orleans.
391, boys.
91, boys.
Stop on red line, please.
91, boys, 10-4, that is 09782. And helicopter base on Cityway 1. Helicopter base on Cityway 1.
Couple days.
You guys able to fly for this stolen vehicle with an armed occupant?
We're waiting for some weather to clear out still.
Alright, no problem.
Pulling all around Kennedy.
Yeah, I think he is going to be curving here. Let's see. They're coming up westbound I-90, right by Augusta.
Looks like he stayed westbound.
Alright, let me see if my Isburn patch works. Nope, it is not. Okay. 5700 Adam, is your Isburn patch working over there? Ours is broken right now.
Hearing it earlier, but haven't heard anything right now.
Alright, 10-4. I tried it. I'm not going through on it over there. Alright, let me know if you get any more hits for it. They said he may have taken the division exit, but they weren't sure.
Units report the citywide person with a gun 2251.
Alex, my Isburn pass isn't working right now.
Over the gun, the staff posted the store before you get in. He's now blocked in 20 for a great action. Still can't less than towards Jeffrey. Nothing for this issue.
Go ahead.
I think on the 14th, looks like it was parked at 1516 South Kennedy.
Alright, 10-4. Stationary parked hit from the 14th at 1516 South Kedzie. Again, this vehicle was stolen from Madison, Wisconsin by a known offender, so it may very well be headed back there. 1516 South Kedzie.
383 boys.
783 boy.
Trying to get a CTA red line to 79. Platform check.
Stationer at 15th and Kedzie.
09807.
7388 Adam, is the air clear?
Let's see, in the 88 Adam.
Can I get a trip mission for Belmont Boulevard, please?
09808. That was gonna come in there.
We're caught up. So you got the crash that's here on the Hubbard. You had the one car from Oak Brook stolen with the $5,000 purse. Two purses for $5,000, so $2,500 each. They got caught. Now you got a stolen car with a guy with a revolver down here on 15th and Kedzie. So think about this. I've listened to these. There's guys from all different states in Chicago. You know why they come here? Is they get released. They do a crime here, they get released, they never have to come back. They don't care about Cook County. They come and do crimes here. That's why the guys from the suburbs come to Chicago, sell drugs. That one guy that shot the guy at Adams and Wells at Seminole, he was from Oak Lawn. There was another guy. Who was the guy? They just got a guy last week or something. He was from the suburbs. Hispanic guy. He was from some suburb. He's doing crime in Chicago, right? They do all. The guy that got killed at Ford City, he was from South Bend. They all come to Chicago. Why? They know nothing's going to happen to them. Period. They know that. Now, when you film the cop doing something, you get locked up for a few days. But when you're street racing or have guns, you get released that same day. Oh yeah, that's how life goes in Chicago, right? We're just giving a little commentary there. All right, I can't hook up this other thing that I want to hook up. I don't know why.
Go ahead.
Oh, 603. 603. That means the news. Gotta keep up with the news.
A.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow for Porter counties. But tonight we're going to see a few showers along with a heavy thunderstorm or two. Watch out for flash flooding. Any thunderstorm can also produce locally damaging winds and hail with the highest risk of severe storms and a tornado.
We're going to
south
see this
of
crash
I-80.
over here,
See
right?
a low of 60 degrees tonight with a high of 74 tomorrow with partial sunshine with a passing shower and a low of 57 tomorrow night. Of course, we're going to look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast at 6:15, but right now, here's our top local story. And we've been keeping an eye on brutal traffic conditions along the Kennedy. Here with more on the situation and how to get around it is...
That's where we're going.
Well, Glenn, the inbound side of the Kennedy stop and go from Harlem all the way to the Hubbard Street Tunnel, where you'll find an overpass was struck by a metal hauler. It struck it, knocked down a big piece of metal. Only the right lane is open, so it's down to one lane. You need to exit and use Milwaukee or Elston into downtown instead as an alternate. They say the bridge inspector should be arriving shortly. Right now, though, just under an hour and a half from the airport to downtown. Again, use Elston or Milwaukee if you don't want to sit in traffic. And 55 minutes coming in from the Edens Junction. There's a Gabrers delay, heavy from the Jane Bird interchange to the Hubbard Street Tunnel. Abby Ryan, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks so much, Abby. We'll check back with you in about 3 minutes. But right now, an expert in severe weather says he's keeping a close eye on the Chicago area in the coming weeks for the potential of more heavy storm systems.
This year has certainly been very active across Illinois. We're now up to nearly 140 tornadoes confirmed so far this year, and 3 of those being ES3. So very strong tornadoes.
Evan Bentley is the warning coordination meteorologist with the National Weather Service.
I think really the jarring thing is just how early in the season it started, and the fact that, now it's persisting in a time when we expect it to occur. But at this point, it's been 3 to 4 months of what seems to be, weekly severe weather setups.
Whether that will continue depends on wind strength to mix with summer humidity and moisture, though Bentley says he does expect a few more strong systems to blow through the Midwest in the weeks to come.
A lot of times it's boom or bust in these type of environments this time of year.
So he says make sure you're prepared.
And here's the problem, Holly. And this has been happening. It's not only in Chicago, it's everywhere. The curriculum has changed. It used to be when we grew up, you got in the Army, you got into a trade, you went to college, or you just graduated and went and did your thing, right? Some people got pregnant and got married, right? Remember those 4 choices in high school? You were a smart guy and you went to college. You were a trades guy, you went to a trade school, started a business. Or you went to the military, or you graduated and did that, got a job or something like that, right? Got pregnant, right? Remember those? Those were the 3 or 4 choices when we grew up. Well, now there is none. They said college for all. Everybody go to college. Everybody go to college. And now you got all these college degrees. You ain't got nobody that knows how to do nothing, right? And now these kids are upset because there's no jobs for them. Because now we're in the AI economy, right? Everything is now getting transferred, but they didn't learn no skills. So they don't have no skills at all, and now they're stuck. You kind of get what I'm saying? There's no jobs for adults, plus there's no jobs for these kids. They didn't learn anything, and they were taught grievances, just saying, yeah, it's somebody else's fault. It's slavery, it's the war, it's the Republicans, it's the Democrats, right?
Vicious cycle under the new requirements that they work or volunteer 80 hours a month, says Dr. Julie Greyhound, Chief Medical Officer of the Association for Clinical Oncology.
They qualify because they can't work, and so their income puts them in that range.
In Chicago, more than 221,000 adults could lose benefits they have through the Affordable Care Act. Working while undergoing chemo, radiation, or other cancer treatments could jeopardize the health of patients, so Dr. Greylow says people should encourage the state to help before the requirements kick in next year.
State governors could choose to automate exemptions instead of building up a bunch of barriers that are going to interrupt treatment.
The governor signed a bill this week that creates a loan program for Medicaid hospitals and orders the study of how the state can prepare for an expected influx of uninsured people and the loss of billions in Medicaid dollars. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
6:08 traffic and weather together on the 8s. And here to give us what's looking at the roads, let's welcome Abby Ryan.
All right, now, Glenn, Metro Milwaukee District North Line train stopped near Lake Forest, all because of mechanical problems. Eden's inbound a 20-minute ride. Heavy pass.
That's the new valleys in front of you.
Outbound is.
Let's go. See this crash.
If you're on the Eden Spur, you're fine. Kennedy outbound, a 20-minute ride to Montrose, 26 to the airport. Heavy from the Jane Byrne interchange to the Hubbard Street Tunnel. It's a gate-first delay. Inbound stop and go Foster, past the Wintrust Muir North Avenue to the Hubbard Street Tunnel. Overpass struck. Down to one lane. Only the right lane is open, and the bridge inspector should be arriving shortly. In the meantime, Milwaukee or Elston are good alternates into downtown. Otherwise, you're going to spend an hour and 15 minutes from the airport on in 55 coming in from the Edens Junction. I-190 looks great. Eisenhower.
We're right above it right here.
Inbound heavy from 25th to the Jane Byrne interchange.
Let's get going. Let's get going.
42. Coming in from Manheim, Stevenson outbound clear, inbound 38. A solid from Harlem to Pulaski, 30 coming in from 294. Dan Ryan outbound clear, inbound 18. Heavy Canal Port to the Jane Byrne interchange. 57 looks great. Bishop Ford outbound 18 to 8094. Heavy 130th to Bergen Woods.
Right
South
there.
Lakeshore Drive northbound heavy Navy Pier.
You're gonna see it
Chicago,
from
past
right here.
Fullerton
You'll
to
see.
Belmont. Cubs traffic, they start at 7:05. Just
Then we'll
less
fool
than an
around
hour
here,
from
and
now.
I gotta go
Southbound,
stop at the
heavy before
Costco
LaSalle
today.
to
I didn't go
Chicago,
shopping yesterday.
Tri-State 294. Slow southbound Cermak to Ogden, and heavy I-80 to the Bishop Ford Freeway. I-90 eastbound, heavy approaching 53 and 290.
You're right.
Route 53 northbound, heavy I-90 to
Holly, think about it. I don't know how old anybody is here. I'm 58. Think about it. When we went to high school, you went to college, you went to the military, you went to the trade, or you went straight, got married, or you went straight to a job, you worked for your family, or you went and got a job right away, or the girls sometimes got pregnant. I ain't saying that's what all girls did, but you remember those days. Now they all said everybody go to college, and they all got these college degrees or dropped out.
69 degrees at O'Hare,
And that's where we're at.
67 at the lakefront. The time now is 6:10.
There's a cop going down there.
The city of Aurora is honoring a community member for saving a baby
All
falcon
kinds of
from
mayhem
drowning.
going on here.
was in downtown
Let's see if we
Aurora
can see this here.
for a routine
I think I
haircut
gotta go
appointment,
just
but
a
he
little
left
bit
the
north.
city a hero. City officials say Bernal noticed a group looking down at Fox River and realized a bird, who turned out to be Hope, one of the city's baby falcons
Right
born
here,
this
we're
spring,
above the
was
cave
being
right here,
pushed
man.
toward a wall by a current. He jumped into the river and rescued Hope, and the bird was then reunited with its family with the help of Aurora Animal Control Officer Quentin Johnson.
SubX.News live.
At a committee of the
Am I in the
this
bike
week.
lane or where am
Courage and
I at? I don't
compassion
know.
make the city of Aurora proud. And the same to you, Quentin Johnson. Thank you so much.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And tomorrow's the big day for the Obama Presidential Center. The center's invitation-only grand opening starts at 11 a.m. but you can watch
Invitation
it
only.
live
I ain't
streamed on
invited,
Obama.org.
so that's how life
The ceremony features a major lineup, including Stevie Wonder, Bruce Springsteen, John Legend, and U2's Bono, Tim's, as well as Chicago's own Jennifer Hudson and Common. Now, the center opens to the public Friday on Juneteenth, with events running through Sunday. Opening weekend tickets are already sold out, but there are plenty of activities to enjoy, including double Dutch performances, story time.
Alright, whatever, man. Let's go see this stuff over here. Alrighty. There you go. You're gonna get a front row seat here. Watch this. Ready? SubX.News. Oh man, that's messed up there, man. There you go, SubX.News. That's all cracked up. There you go. SubX.News right there. You're live here at the Hubbard's Cave. You see it wrecked over there, man. See, I know my way around the city. You guys get a front row seat. There you go. Smash that metal there. I heard cars got hurt. There you go. SubX.News. SubX.News. Live. Live, uncut, unedited. There you go, Holly. There you go. Big backup here. Big backup. Truck driver crashed. Live, uncut, unedited. SubX.News bringing it to you right here. Right here. There ain't no other coverage like this in the city of Chicago. Don't exist. As Domi said, SubX.News, there is no other. There is no other news like us, period. Let's see if I got the, where's that report at? We're at 6:13. Let's go, right? Ready? SubX.News, live on the spot reporting, 6:13 p.m., June 17th. Southbound, where are we at? 90, right? This is the Hubbard's Cave. That's the crash. There you go. It's completely blocked. There's people that got hurt. I don't want to fall off here. There's an edge over here. But there's cars that are smashed inside there. You see that there? SubX.News. There you go. All right. A truck lost its load, it sounds like, and it smashed something off the bridge there. They got to come in and check the bridge and see if it's safe. So they're shutting everything down here. There you go. SubX.News, live on the spot reporting. There is no other news agency like us in the city of Chicago. Maybe even in Illinois. There's some in the United States, but for sure not in Chicago. There you go. Major traffic delays. This is not going to be open. They have to inspect the bridge. So this is not going to be open. Take the side roads. There you go. Southbound, Hubbard's Cave, shut down. Truck smashed into the bridge. A lot of metal here on the ground. Also heard that there were some cars that get hit by the metal and they got hurt. 6:15 p.m., June 17, 2026. SubX.News live. There you go. I don't want to drop my phone on the highway. See, that's what happens when you know your way around the city a little bit. You know, little side spots, right? What is it? Southbound 90, right? Truck hit a bridge. SubX.News live on the spot reporting. Only people bringing you this. There you go. There's the debris. It's right there. That's messed up, ain't it? Somebody got hurt. That's bad, man. They ripped that off. Where did that come from? Some came from the truck. Some came from overhead. I don't know what he ripped off. Maybe that sign up there? He ripped off something. It's one of those that they don't know the measurements, right? You didn't know how high it was. Oh, sorry about my thumb there. How about like that? Is that better? Actually, man, that's pretty messed up. Look at that. That's pretty bad, ain't it? Yeah. Everybody, that's a bad accident there. I hope they're okay. Imagine if you were right behind that truck and that fell on you. Yeah, that's a bad one there. You gotta watch. You gotta be careful. Leave some space between you and cars, right? There you go. Look at it. It's completely wiped out. The highway is shut down. That's That's it. Got one lane going through, that's it. And then they're doing something over here. And there they are, they're cleaning it up. See that there? See that? I'm not, if I was younger, I'd go down there, but I'm not young anymore. So, that's the way life goes. Sorry, guys. That's the way life goes. If I was younger, I would do some other things, but I'm not. So right now, all traffic is closed. All traffic is closed. Because they're doing some work over there. I can go on the other side maybe and show you from the other side. I don't think though. I'm posting it on all my channel. That's pretty bad. So traffic is now shut down. You can report that from me. You can share this. I just posted a video. You can post a video. But traffic is shut down right now. There's no traffic moving. There's none. See that? There's no traffic moving. Major highway, nothing's moving. It's completely shut down, and they're cleaning something up down there. See that there? It's completely shut down here. You ain't getting through if you're coming this way. See that? There's no cars moving. It's completely shut down. There you go. Not only is it rush hour, this is a major highway here, right? That's bad. Yeah, I hope everybody's all right. I think they're moving now there. They started moving. See that there? They just started moving a little bit. But you see, man, this is a nightmare here, right? It's a nightmare scenario. Yeah, they're cleaning something up over there with those bobcats. Truck hit the viaduct over here at Hubbard's Cave, one lane. Nightmare scenario on the highway. Bridge. Looks like they just opened up one lane, but it was one lane enclosed for a little while. Truck hit the bridge at Hubbard's Cave and lost the load. A few cars that were behind it, sounds like they got hurt. Come on in. Come on. You can come on in. It's safe. Come on. It's solid here. It's solid right here. That's a major accident. Come on. Major accident. You can see right here. Come right there. Yeah, I'll show you. You can stand right here. Why don't you take a picture from, look, it's solid right here. You can take a picture right here. Come on, he's moving it right now. Just step over that. You'll be all right. Come on. A truck hit this bridge and lost everything. And then a couple of cars got crushed underneath it. It's bad. Somebody might have got hurt real bad right here. They already moved the cars, but that was on the truck. It hit that bridge right here. You see that? Look at the traffic. That's bad. I hope somebody, we got to pray for the person. So now they're moving the stuff. You see that? They're cleaning it up. Pretty wild, right? All right, be safe, my sister. SubX.News, SubX.News. Independent news. We're not ABC or NBC. SubX.News. We're all over. They don't like us. Pretty wild. They're cleaning up, everybody. They're trying to clean up the... See that? He's trying to get that going so they can get the highway moving. See that? Pretty wild, huh? There you go, SubX.News live. So he's just trying to clean it up real quick. So they got 2 lanes open now. Well, 1 lane and 1 shoulder. See that? Now they're going to slowly open it up. Starting to move there, see that? They're starting to clean it up. See how they're cleaning the lanes, right? They opened up a second lane, including the shoulder, at about 6:20 p.m. There you go. So you see, when we came here, there was no traffic moving. Now there's 2 lanes moving. You see that there? And then they're going to open up another lane, and then they're going to figure out how to get that out of there, right? You got to do it so nobody gets hurt. It's a hard job. It ain't easy. That's a very dangerous job, Rare. Very dangerous. Working on the highway. Pretty wild, huh? It's moving a little better. Let me do one more report and we'll get out of here, right? Kennedy Expressway southbound at Hubbard's Cave. Truck hit the bridge, lost its load. So, I think they ripped that bridge out. There must have been something on that bridge there. Let me do a quick report, all right? I'm gonna go back over here. I hope I don't fall off the bridge here. This is a little scary, man. You know, if you take the wrong step, you're gonna tumble down into traffic over there. What time is it? $6:34 p.m., June 17, 2026. This is the southbound Kennedy here. I think it's 90. There you go. They just opened up 2 lanes. A truck hit that bridge there. I think it lost some of its load, and whatever was on the bridge there ripped it off. But as you see, traffic is starting to move a little bit here. It was completely shut down for a little while. Again, Hubbard's Cave, 2 lanes are open now. There you go. They're moving a little bit there. As you see, there's still debris on the road there. We also hear that some cars that were around the truck, they might have got hurt. So hopefully everybody's all right. They moved all that debris to the side over there. See that there? SubX.News on the spot reporting. I hope everybody's safe. And let's say a prayer for everybody that was involved in this. There you go. Traffic's starting to move a little bit. Alrighty, there we go, right? Want to get out of here, guys? There we go. And let's squeeze out of here, right, man? Getting too old for this type of reporting. Oh, that lady was watching it from here. She's like, the lady I was talking to the lady, she's over here. I said, come on in. She goes, no, she was watching it from right there. Look at that. That's pretty bad. It must have been scary when it hit, right? Alrighty, let's keep moving. We ain't got time for this chit chatter. We need to keep moving. What do you guys think? We got places to go, people to see, things to do, right? Alrighty, woo. Drink something, calm down. Ooh. Alright, where's my keys at? I gotta find my keys now. I hope I didn't drop them somewhere. There's a lady coming with her kids. I'll show her that. That's wild. The whole highway was shut down. She's got her little kids, man. You know what I mean, Lou? Oh, yeah, it's moving again.
You'll pay with no hidden fees. Thanks to our listeners for the following gas prices. In Carroll Stream, the Amical on North Ave and County Farm Road is selling gas for $3.99 per gallon. While Gilbert's,
gonna be okay.
The Mobile on Higgins Road and Center Drive has gas for $3.89 per gallon. If you see a lower gas price, please give us a call at 312-409-GAS. That's 312-409-4277. And at 638, traffic and
there you go, 638.
We got a crash crash on I-57. Here to explain is Abby Ryan.
All right, now, Glenn, if you're on I-57, right around 147th
Another
Street
crash.
or Sibley Boulevard, it's heavy inbound. The crash blocking the right lane. 17 on the inbound side from I-80 into the Ryan. Outbound's okay. Bishop Ford, inbound fine. Outbound slows 130th to Bobby and Woods at 15 to 80-94. Now, if you're on DuSable Lakeshore Drive, heavy from Navy Pier to Chicago, past Fullerton to Belmont, Cubs traffic. They play at 7:05 tonight, the Colorado Rockies. Southbound heavy, LaSalle to Chicago Avenue. Tri-State southbound, heavy Dixie Highway on 280-94. If you're on the 80-94 eastbound side, heavy from the Bishop Ford to Kennedy Avenue. Westbound's okay. I-94 eastbound, it's also heavy from the Chesterton truck scales to before US 421 Michigan City with a new lane shift. I-65's okay. Eastbound side of 80-94, again, heavy from the Ford on over to Kennedy Avenue. I-80 looks good. Route 53 northbound, that is slow past Algonquin to Kirchhoff. Southbound slows around Algonquin as well. The inbound side of the Edens, that is clear. If you're on the Kennedy inbound, stop and go from Central to the Hubbard Street Tunnel. Still 3 left lanes blocked, only the 2 right open. Hour and 3 O'Hare in 50 coming in from the Edens Junction. Your alternate would be Milwaukee or Elston into downtown instead. Outbound 23 back to the airport. The Eisenhower headed out clear. Inbound an hour. It's stop and go from 25th to Damon with a stall blocking the 2 right lanes. And the Strokes at the United Center at 7 p.m. tonight. 42 coming in from Manheim. Next report for the Metro Traffic Center at 6:48. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather, partly to mostly cloudy and breezy early this evening. There will be a shower or two around, maybe even a heavy gusty thunderstorm in a few spots. Then mostly cloudy.
What's up, Lou? Hey, everybody. Lou, if you were just chiming in, reading the comments, this is what we're talking about. When we grew up, remember there was 4 choices. College, you were smart. I forgot the other choice, but it was college. When you were a sports guy, you went to college. So there was 2 college options, smart and you were smart or you were in sports. Those 2 were college options. Military, trades, or you just graduated and some of the girls got pregnant. That was the 4 choices in high school, right? 5, right, with sports. Now they said everybody go to college and all these kids don't know what they're doing, right? And now we have the problem, right? They're carjacking, robbing, and stealing. I'm not saying that's an excuse for robbing and stealing, but I'm just saying that's where we're at today, right? That these kids don't have the outlook and they don't have the skills to do something, right? All right, where are we going to go? I don't know, man. I'm all jacked up. How about if I drink some coffee? What do you guys think? I don't think I brought coffee today. I should drink water. So I'm all jacked up right now from that accident. I think we got some of the exclusive footage there, huh? Exclusive, Snoop, breaking, man. Lou's like, yeah. and there was another category. There was the 6th category, the stoner category. The stoners. You didn't know what they were gonna do. They were gonna just smoke some reefer, and that's it, and drink some keg beers. I grew up in the keg party time. Everybody remember the keg parties? Yeah. Alrighty, I'm not going to say anything more, Lou. You're getting me in trouble now, Lou. Yeah, I forgot. There was a 6th category, stoner. The stoner usually stayed at home, sat on the couch or in the basement, mooching some cigarettes, did odds and end jobs, right? I'm just saying, I read about it in a book. Alright, let's get the hell out of here, man. That's enough. You guys get me in trouble. I'm talking too much. I'm telling you that. You guys make me say too much. Let's see, scanner. Okay. Post that, baby. Let's go. Where are we going here? Why are you beeping your horn, man? I don't get that. People beep their horn. I don't see that. That's a major accident. You don't listen to the radio? It was all on the radio, right? Alrighty, where are we going now? What are we doing? I'm kind of discombobulated right now. I don't know what I'm doing here. I wanted to put on some music is what I wanted to do, like yesterday. That was pretty fun. Some music.
Let's get $0 installation. Limited time only. Summertime is hot tub time. Get factory cash back plus 0% financing for 60 months. Summer starts at the Great Escape.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest
go check Fulton Market. What do you guys
faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm, under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today.
Ready to get out of here, guys?
Trajan 1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Let's keep moving.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
That was a great Juice WRLD
This is the
mural
story
there,
of the
man.
one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run.
I hope everybody's safe. Let's say a prayer for the victims in that accident. I hope everybody makes it out. That's what we gotta always hope for. We don't want no trauma, no nothing, man. Trauma is bad for you. Mucho, no bad. Trauma, no good, okay? We're not into trauma, man. Look, what did I say this before? And I'll be honest, I'm gonna say this to everybody on SubX. If I didn't do any crime, if there was no crime today, I'd be happy. I would do other things. Look what I would do. I would do this. I'd go in there and videotape that. I'd videotape in there. I'd go there, I'd clean up, I'd take a shave, I'd take a shower, maybe put on some perfume and cologne. What's up, my brother? I'm doing live feeding, SubX.News. Maybe I'll come in there, I'll sing. I do crime chasing instead of crime. Maybe I do positive stuff. What are you guys doing there? Is that soccer or what? Yeah, FIFA, alright. There you go, man. What's this place called? What do they do?
Recess.
What is it called?
Recess.
Recess. Come on out here. You're open all night or what?
We open every game. So if a game starts at 8 o'clock, we open at 7.
And how late you open?
We open to the last game. So let's say the last game today is at 9, which will be Columbia. Say about 12.
12? You got alcohol in there?
Yes, sir.
Is there nice girls in there?
All the girls.
I ain't telling my wife I'm coming here then.
Better not.
See you, my brother. I appreciate it, all right? Come on out here. See this nice place here, man. There you go. See that, right? Perfume, yeah, man. The ladies like perfume, bro. You put on some perfume, you'll be like getting... don't tell my wife, man. Well, you know what, Lou? You're getting me in trouble, man. My wife's gonna be saying, oh, he's putting that perfume on, man. He's going out on a date. Man, they got all kinds of FIFA over here, man. This is FIFA over here. Look at that. That's FIFA. Whatever FIFA is, man. I don't know what FIFA is. Oh, yeah, that's the soccer, right? So they got expensive FIFA over here. Watch this. I'm going to show you the drug camp. Yeah, perfume, bro. Man, you put on some perfume. You take a shower. You shave a little bit, right? You clip your nose hairs. You know what I'm talking about? You can be presentable, man. You put on the nice shoes, not your junky shoes. Some clean socks that match. Maybe even get new socks. Maybe not even used socks. You get new socks. And that's why you go out. You don't be wearing no old socks, man. You get new socks. Go to the store, spend a few dollars, man. Don't be all cheap and nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I didn't know the difference, man. I'm just... But you never know, man. Hey, it's unisex now, bro. Isn't it unisex? Alright, and then we got FIFA over there, and we got the drug tent over here, right? And they're all quiet. Maybe they're watching FIFA here too, man. Maybe they took a little fentanyl and they're watching the game here, man. What's up, Clyde, my brother? There you go, man. See that there? They're watching me, man. They know who I am, man. Those are migrants in this place. Migrants stay here. These are from the Bloomer Chocolate Factory. These guys told a dude to shoot me, man. These guys, I remember them. 2 guys passed me by, and I gave him my business card. Then about 20 minutes later, a dude came by and said, SubX.News. I said, what? He goes, you don't get out of here, I'm gonna shoot you. That was by the chocolate factory. I remember who those guys were. Even they were wearing those ski masks, man. See that there? See that guy right there? That's a migrant running for you. See that guy right in the middle there? This guy right there. That's a migrant, man. Those 2 guys are migrants. They sell drugs. They run the drugs over here, man. I'll show you, man. Right there. That guy right there. See that guy right there? He's a migrant. See him with the goat, right? They goatee, right? That guy right there, man. That guy, right? Those are migrants. There's a bunch of them here. They run drugs here. They're the drug runners. They're not the dealers. They're the runners, right? They keep these drug camps doped up.
From the Eden Junction to the Hubbard Street Tunnel and over.
That's that Tren de Agua guys, man. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
Lanes remain open. 56.
They slipped there. Didn't you see them all clean and everything?
Coming in from the Eden Junction, outbound 17 to Montrose, 23 to the airport.
My radio's messed up. Let me shut my car off.
With a gate burst
and reset my radio here, right? Yeah, those are Tren de Aguas, man. That's what those guys are. Those guys in the Dago T, man. Those are Tren de Aguas. Alright, where are we going now? We might get some milkshake.
Coming in from Manheim. Stevens outbound clear, inbound slows. Cicero to Pulaski at 20.
Go check out Flint Market. That's how we'll end today, right?
Dan Ryan's fine.
I'll show you the rich place.
Outbound is 2. Crash cleared on the inbound side of I-57. Slow still past 147th at 16 to the Dan Ryan, but the crash is cleared. Outbound Bishop Ford, you are slow 130th to Bobby and Woods at 15 to 8094. DuSable Lakeshore Drive southbound, heavy from LaSalle to Chicago, and northbound heavy approaching the light at Chicago. Then heavy at Belmont, Cubs traffic. They start at 7:05 tonight against the Colorado Rockies. Tri-State southbound, heavy from Dixie Highway to 8094. If you're on 53, slow on the southbound side approaching Algonquin. 8094 eastbound, heavy Bishop Ford to Kennedy Avenue, and I-94 eastbound is heavy from the Chesterton truck scales to before US 421 Michigan City with a lane shift. Next report is 6:58 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Abby. We're going to have a couple of showers around and perhaps a heavy gusty thunderstorm in a few spots, but we'll have a low of 60 degrees tonight. Tomorrow we'll see a high of
drugs from those guys too.
Shower and a low of 57 degrees tomorrow night. It's currently 68 degrees at O'Hare, 67 at Midway and the Lakefront.
It's empty, man. Where is everybody? What time is it? Where is everybody? It's empty out here, man. They don't eat dinner no more? It's empty out here, man.
A popular musician with local
Italian food.
Which one? That one there?
Yeah, La Briola.
Maybe I bring my wife there. What's a good time so it's not so crowded?
Today?
Today? No, not today. My wife is working. Maybe the weekend. Saturday or Sunday.
Sunday is open.
When's a good time? Was it busy all day or no?
Today, no.
How about Saturday, Sunday?
Sunday is better.
Sunday's better? About what time?
4, 5 p.m.
What's a good food? Do you know in there? Anything?
Yeah, it's very good. The menu is still was.
Too expensive or what?
The menu is here. Maybe you need a chicken.
Well, maybe $100 for 2 people, right? Maybe. All right. See you, my brother. Sunday, you say. Sunday, maybe 4 o'clock, right? Sunday? My name is John. What's your name?
My name is Ricardo.
Ricardo John. Maybe Sunday I'll bring my wife, okay? Take it easy, my brother. Alright, there we go. I'll bring my wife out here. It's some Italian joint. Goddamn, go collect some cans and get some money, man. I need to go do some scrap metaling or something. What do you think, man? Lou, you got a side job? You need me to clean your gutters or something? Who needs their gutters cleaned? I don't know if I want to do that. That's high. I might fall down and get hurt. I gotta hire a kid. I'll hire a kid, give the kid $50 and you give me 100. How about that? And we clean your gutters out. Is that a good deal? Lou's like, nah, that ain't a good deal. Lou just paid the kid $50 and cut me out, don't you? There you go. See? If I wore perfume, Marietta would like it. I don't know, you would. I don't know if you like a man wearing perfume. That's probably not too good there. I should wear some cologne, high karate or something, right? There we go, right? And they're all around here, man. All right, what are we going to get? We're going to get a milkshake? What do you say?
They can help. Call now. 888-578.
I'll go to my favorite McDonald's over here, right?
578-9888. BetterTaxRelief.com.
What time is it?
A little bit of pre-planning can prevent a student loan debt headache.
The cost of college is a source of stress for students and their parents. Student loans can help families complete their tuition payments. Financial planner Ed Jertson tells the Noon Business Hour that loans should be far down the list of possible ways to pay for college.
Work during school, try to get grants and scholarships and things like that can be extraordinarily helpful.
Student loans are like a mortgage, experts say. It's an investment in college education that will be paid for through greater earning power down the line. Jurtson says
no comment on them student loans.
Make sure it's for a major.
Here, I'll tell you the story of my student loans. I got 2 college degrees from Chicago State. That's where I went to. I got industrial tech. I learned how to be a shop teacher at Chicago State. I got a bachelor's and a master's degree there in vocational education, industrial. I think the first one was industrial tech or something like that, and then the second one was vocational education. I got a teaching degree and I got a principal degree. All my stuff is about vocational ed. I did my dissertation, then later I got a PhD there. But let me tell you this. So I'm in school, right? I get my bachelor's degree and I'm right about to graduate. And there's these ladies, I'm in class. They were smart. I like these ladies. And I don't know if they were, but they told me this. She goes, you know what, John? I said, what? And these were CPS teachers. They said, here's the trick. If you keep going to school, you don't have to pay your loans off. I said, are you serious? They said, yeah, don't worry about it. Get a bunch of college degrees. I said, okay. That's why I ended up getting all those college degrees. At first, I only had one. I had an associate's degree from Loop College, right? It's now called Harold Washington. Yeah, I used to go to a college called Loop College. Look it up. See how old that is, and I'll tell you how old I am. So I'm over at Chicago State. I said, all right, let's get another loan. Let's get another loan. I got a bachelor's degree, and I said, okay, you got to pay your loan now. Since when you graduate, you got to pay. I said, all right. That's when the ladies told me, if you keep in school, you don't have to pay them back. I said, all right. So now I'm 58. I've been out of school for, I don't even know how many years now. 20 years I've been out of school now. Maybe 20 years I've been out of school. With my last college degree. And guess what? I got a lot of loans. I made a lot of money. I ain't saying I didn't make money. I made good money. I was making 6 figures at one time. I always say this story. Here, I say this. Harriet Marietta, you're gonna make this t-shirt. You ready? This is a good t-shirt. 6 figures to 0 figures. That's a t-shirt. 6 figures to 0 figures. Yeah, that's me. So yeah, I used to be fancy, had a secretary, car expense, all that boo stuff. I used to travel on the plane, all that fancy stuff, right? But this is what I gotta say, so. I made the money from the college degree. I should have been paying more of the loan. You know how when you have extra money, you should have been paying more, but I didn't. Instead, me and my wife made a decision, so did I, that all of our extra money is gonna go to all of our children. As they were growing, we paid for summer school, because we couldn't get I was making good money. I couldn't get summer school. I couldn't get extra stuff. I couldn't get anything like that in sports. I had to pay. You can't get, if you're making a certain amount of money, you can't get that stuff. And I get that. That's true. But I had 4 kids, so we were almost poor, right? But so what we did, we decided instead of paying extra, we paid all the minimums on all our credit cards, all our loans, and we spent it all on our kids. We paid for their sports, we paid for their vacations, we paid for their graduation. You know, when graduation, they have all those trips, we paid for all of that. We paid for their hotels, we paid for everything. We even took trips with them and paid for their friends and all of that stuff. So we, instead of paying the bank, right, and paying it off, we decided we're going to pay our children. Our money, our extra money went to our children. You know, now I'm in debt. I ain't got a good job. I ain't got no job. All I do is do this stuff. Self-employed, right? And hey, I have no regrets. That's all I got to say. No regret. What are we going to get here? We're going to get a milkshake, a small milkshake.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. You like some more today?
No, thank you. Why don't you just give me a small vanilla milkshake?
Anything else, sir?
No, that's it.
Okay, first window, thank you.
This is me, 6 quarters at no quarter. You want to go or I go? And, yeah, it is what it is. So, what do I pay you? What's up? I gotta get some money, don't I? Alright, let's see if I got money in my bank. Alright, and let's see how this works out. There you go, young lady. Milkshake, that's what I got coming. Nah, I don't need that stuff. Yeah, we need some more quarters. Yeah, you know what? We all make decisions, and this is what I learned. There's the old story of the farmer's son with the broken arm. I don't know if you ever heard this story. And then we'll listen to the 7 o'clock news. There's this story of a farmer, right? And his horse got loose. And he goes, oh, my luck is bad. My horse got loose. His son said, you know what? I'll go get you the horse. Don't worry about it, Dad. I'm going to go get the horse. So the kid goes and gets the horse, right? And the kid comes back with the horse. Hey, how you doing there? How you doing? Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. So see, you should write a book, Marietta, on how to survive. See, people don't understand that. Chicago is a hustler city, and then I'll get back to my horse story. Chicago is a hustler story. All right, let's finish this. I'll finish the Chinese story after the news. How about that? But Marietta, you got a great story. We should talk about how you survive, how you make it, right? And that's what we need to be doing, right? We need to teach these young people how to hustle, how to make it, right? All right, let's listen to the news, right?
It's not the biggest check Chicago's ever written, but it sparked a big fight in City Council. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles at City Hall with the controversy over a $650,000 settlement.
Chicago elected leaders approved Mayor Johnson's plan to purchase a downtown Greyhound station. Plus, President Trump says he signed the memo of understanding to end the Iran war. The latest on that next from ABC News. In WBBM sports, we know that the Sox are still losing to the Yankees 4-0 at the top of the third inning, while the Cubs are getting ready to host the Rockies. AccuWeather is letting us know about a beach hazard statement that is in effect until 1 a.m. and 9 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to be some floods and a couple of other issues. It's 7 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. Leaving a dinner hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron at the Palace of Versailles tonight, President Trump told reporters that he signed the Memorandum of Understanding reached with Iran to end the war. U.S. officials presenting the peace deal lifting the American blockade of Iranian ports, rewarding Iran for reopening the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Reaffirms because it made that same pledge in the first line of the Obama nuclear deal. But unlike that deal, Iran's agreement with President Trump includes no other nuclear commitments, just a pledge to keep talking, including about how Iran could dispose of its highly enriched uranium.
ABC's Rachel Scott. Storm preps now underway along the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coast as Tropical Storm Arthur makes its way north. Locals like Steve McCann shoveling sand in sandbags in Covington, Louisiana.
Over by my mom's house, they have a canal in the back, and it comes up real quick and goes down real quick, but there's nothing there for her back door and her front door and stuff. If I can keep it out of there for a little while, usually it goes down before it'll get in the house.
Meanwhile, a threat for more than 47 million Americans for severe weather across parts of the Midwest, including damaging winds, hail, flash flooding, and tornadoes. We heard from relatives of the women murdered by Rex Heuermann outside court in New York after a judge sentenced the Gilligo Beach serial killer to life in prison. Heuermann admitted to murdering 8 women, including Megan Waterman, her daughter, Lithiana.
The chance to finally speak up for her, it gives me comfort for her, knowing she can finally lay down, rest in peace, and he can't hurt anybody else. That's what brings me comfort, not him.
In New York Central Park, an 18-year-old man was critically injured and later died when a carriage horse got loose and took off into the park. The tourist fell from the carriage. You're listening to ABC News.
Grandma, these pierogies are delicious.
Oh, thanks you.
I'm not done. Why are you wearing your best?
So, well, listen to the news and I'll tell you the farmer. It's the farmer and the horse story, right? I'll tell you what happens, right?
Grandma,
and just remember that the farmer and the horse. The farmer had a horse who ran away. And the farmer says, oh, my luck is bad. My horse just ran away. What am I going to do? Now I don't have my horse. And the son says, I'll go get the horse, Dad. And the farmer says, oh, how lucky I am. My son can go get my horse. How lucky I am. We'll continue that story after the news.
get to know you real, Junior.
First American Bank, the bank that does more for your money. Visit firstambank.com or call us at 847-952-3700. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
And the time now is 7:03 on Wednesday, June 17, 2026. Good evening, I'm Glenn Marshall, and currently we're sitting under partly sunny skies. It's about 68 degrees here in Chicago, but heads up, there is a beach hazard statement for high waves and dangerous rip currents through 2 a.m. tomorrow in Lake and Cook counties, and from 1 a.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow for Porter County. And into this evening, we're going to see a few showers along with a heavier thunderstorm or two in spots. You better watch out for flash flooding, and the thunderstorm can also produce local damage in winds and hail. The highest risk of severe storms and tornadoes south of I-80. But other than that, we will have a low of 60 degrees tomorrow. We'll see a passing shower with a high of 74 and a low of 57 degrees. Of course, we're going to look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast at 7:15. But right now, our top story on News Radio WBBM. Chicago alderman gave final approval to a payment settling a lawsuit over a police chase on the southwest side that left two women critically hurt. The story from WBB.
Gangbangers were responsible for that.
Maria and Yadira Navarro Escobedo were injured back in 2023 when a car being pursued by Chicago police smashed into their car at 43rd and California in Brighton Park.
See that?
The city's lawyers say the officers involved in the pursuit violated the department's policy on chases by not turning on their lights and siren, not checking in with dispatch, and not breaking off the pursuit when ordered to do so. Southwest Side Alderman Ray Lopez told colleagues the proposed $650,000 payment would undermine police officers.
We must stop and make it known that we are standing with our officers, that we understand their instincts and we appreciate their effort.
But Matt O'Shea from the far south side said the officers' disregard for department policy could put the city on the hook for a far larger payment.
Is this a $5 million settlement? Is it a $10 million hit to the taxpayers? I think it might be.
Alderman approved the payment 36-12. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The city of Chicago is now moving to purchase the Greyhound bus terminal after City Council endorsed Mayor Brandon Johnson's plan to take over, fix up, and operate the station on Harrison Street. The Johnson administration says it will use economic development funds to buy the station from its private equity owner, which had threatened to close it and sell the land. Mayor Johnson praised the vote.
By bringing this facility under public stewardship, we are preserving a transportation hub that hundreds of thousands of passengers across Chicago and the region rely on each and every year, and ensuring that it remains a long-term public asset.
The city's expected to pay about $19 million to buy the terminal and as much as $30 million more to make improvements to the building. The Chicago Public Library is offering Chicagoans free access to the New York Times.
Anyone who visits a Chicago Public Library branch or has a library card now has complimentary digital access to the Times news coverage dating back to 1851, as well as access to games like Wordle, daily crosswords, recipes, and podcasts. Visitors can access the Times on a public computer at one of the library's branches or by logging into library Wi-Fi on a personal device. CPL cardholders can also redeem 24-hour codes to access the Times remotely by entering their library card number and PIN on the library's website. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Before new federal work requirements for people on Medicaid kick in next year, the leading medical group of cancer doctors is urging Illinois and other states to make it as easy as possible for patients to comply.
Dr. Julie Graylow, Chief Medical Officer of the Association for Clinical Oncology, says losing your Medicaid benefits, even for a short time, could be devastating for patients on cancer drugs that cost thousands of dollars per month.
So if you have a gap in your Medicaid coverage, anything that happens during that gap period, it's not guaranteed that there would be anything retroactive covered.
So the ASCO is encouraging recipients to press Governor Pritzker to ease the burdens by automating the exemption process.
We already know this information that's being required. So don't make a system where the patient has to kind of duplicate effort and submit all of this separately.
Starting in January, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act requires adults on Medicaid to work or volunteer 80 hours a month, something Dr. Graylow says could be extremely difficult for those also battling cancer. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
In a new proposal to rename a popular venue after the Chicago Pope, Alderman Ray Lopez says he plans to introduce legislation to rename Northern Lee Island to Pope Leo XIV Northern Lee Island. Lopez says he can't think of no better tribute, and proponents say it could breathe new life into the underutilized venue. The time now is 7:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by the ChicagoDogs.com. We have flooding on 8094. Here to explain is Abby Ryan.
Well, right now, Glenn, if you're on 8094 headed eastbound, it is heavy from the Bishop Ford over to Klein Avenue. That flooding partially blocking the left lane. NDOT is on the scene to take care of the situation. Westbound's okay. I-94 eastbound also heavy from the Chesterton truck scales to US 421 Michigan City with a lane shift. The Chicago Skyway is okay. If you're on the Edens, you are fine. Kennedy outbound, heavy from the Jane Bird interchange to the Hubbard Street Tunnel. Gabriel's delay to earlier problems from the inbound side. 16 to Montrose outbound, 22 out to the airport inbound. Stop and go Addison. Past the Wintrust Mural at North Avenue to that Hubbard Street Tunnel. This struck overpass still blocks 3 left lanes. 2 right remain open. Metal hauler struck and knocked down a big piece of metal earlier. Crews are there cleaning it up. Bridge inspector should be on the scene. You can exit and use Milwaukee or Elston into downtown instead as an alternate. 50 coming in from the airport, 44 coming in from the Edens Junction. The Eisenhower headed outbound clear, inbound 41. I-90 in, it's tight spots Costner to Damon with concert traffic. The Strokes are at the United Center at 7 p.m. tonight, 41 from I-90. 23 coming in from Mannheim. Stevenson looks great. So does Dan Ryan, and I-57 Bishop Ford is clear too.
So he's got enough money for cigarettes,
northbound, slow passing Glenwood Dyer Road. Stalled semi blocks the on-ramp from Glenwood Dyer Road. Traffic is sponsored by the Chicago.
The guy has enough money for a cigarette, or has a cigarette. He's in the middle of the road there, huh? Should be removed. All I gotta say, there was somebody over here that used to stay at that bus station. They got wild and stabbed somebody. Alright.
Thanks a lot, Abby.
Look at the sun came out.
We're going to see a shower.
So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to finish the story after the news.
60 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have a passing shower with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 57. It's currently 68 degrees at O'Hare, Midway, and the lakefront. It's 710.
Menards is your one-stop shop.
All right. I'm going to park here. I'll show you the guys the sun in a little bit. I might do the sunset, but I might have to drop something off at my place. I got to get some milk and yogurt, so I can't drive around with milk and yogurt in my car. It'll spoil. So I'm going to finish the farmer and his son story, right? Do you guys remember where I stopped off at? I'll recap the story. I don't need gas. I got gas yesterday. Anyways, they're long lines. It's not that bad. So the farmer and his son story. Remember the story? How did it go? Farmer's horse runs away. Farmer says, "Oh, my luck is so bad. I have bad luck. My horse ran away." His son says, "Dad, don't worry. Don't worry, Dad. I'll go get the horse." The farmer says, I'm so lucky. I have a great son. He's going to get my horse." The son comes back. He's riding back, right? And the farmer sees him in the back coming down. You know, farm, you can see a lot of stuff, right? We should go. I gotta go here anyway. So we're going to stop right here. We might see some helicopters take off here. They do helicopter stuff over here. The sheriffs dropped the helicopters off. We'll stay right here. Maybe we'll go back here and you can see the train moving. Man, I just forgot where I was with that story. Oh, he's coming back with the horse. The kid's coming back with the horse, right? So the kid's coming back to the village with the horse, right? The farmer. And there's the farmer saying, "Do you see how lucky I am? Do you see how lucky I am? I'm so lucky. My son, he went and got my horse that ran away. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Look at everybody. Look at everybody. My son's back with my horse." And he's celebrating, right? And then as the kid comes closer, and everybody's celebrating, right? The horse gets scared, and like, what do you call it? Broncs or broncos or whatever you call it. And the kid falls off the horse and breaks his arm, right? And then the farmer says, oh my gosh, I am so unlucky. I'm so unlucky. My son broke his arm. Who's gonna help me in the fields now? How am I gonna plant? How am I gonna do any work around here now? My son broke his arm. I'm so unlucky. I'm so unlucky. That's what the farmer kept saying. And then about a few days later, the army comes through the town, through the village. Isn't in the olden days, really olden days. It's what's called conscription. And the army comes through the village, and they're conscripting all the young kids to go to the army and fight the war. When they come to the farmer's house, they see the kid, his arm is all busted up. He can't do nothing. He can't shoot a rifle. He can't walk. He can't do nothing, right? He's all busted up, the kid is, right? He has bandages and all that. He just fell off a horse and got busted up. And the army comes in and says, do you have any sons here that we need your son to go to the war? And the farmer says, that's my son there. You can take him. And the army looked at the son and said, well, he's all broken. We can't be no good in the war. We're not going to take your son. The farmer said, I'm a lucky man. My son don't have to go to war. That's the story. Good or bad. We never know when something good or when something bad happens, because it's something that happens. And sometimes the situation changes. And I don't even remember why I started telling you this story, but that's what we have to look at things, right? We have to look at things with an open mind, with an open lens. I'm a guy, and I'll end with this. When I see something, I see an opportunity. It might not sound like it the way I talk, but that's how I've been trained all my life, since I've been a little kid. I've never been afraid of something that's broken. I've never been afraid of being poor and not having anything. I'm going to be honest with everybody on this broadcast. I'm not even afraid of going to jail or losing my life. I've made my peace with God, and I can live in jail too. That doesn't bother me. There's no person that can harm me ever in this world. None. Zero. I've made my peace with God. I've lived a good life. I have a good family. There's no police, no judge, no company, no blacklisting, no words on the internet, not even taking my freedom away and putting me in jail. I read the book by Nelson Mandela. A jail don't mean you lose your freedom. So I have had that for about 30 years when I read his book. That's the way I think, and that's why I tried to make this broadcast, right? We take in information, we have a good time, we have some laughs, we see some things, and hopefully it makes something that we change, right? Maybe me and Marietta and Ms. Zidor, we figure out this tour thing. Maybe we get a tour bus or do something. Maybe we have a spa day. I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't. But if we don't talk about it, it'll never happen. See, that's my idea. If we don't talk about it, if we don't have these dreams, if we don't have these hopes, if we don't have these ideas, then we can never do nothing, right? You want to see? It's nice and sunny now. I'll show you. I'll go over here. I'll show you the sun. And then I'm going to go into the Costco. It was rainy. It was stormy. It was crazy earlier today, wasn't it? And you wait a little bit. You batten down the hatches. See the train? People made the train. Some human being made that train, build a beautiful train there, right? They build a beautiful fence. They build a beautiful church there. See that church over there? People build those things. It didn't happen by magic. It didn't happen by excuses. It happened by people rolling up their sleeves and doing the work. Right, there you go. We got a nice sunset. I gotta go do a little shopping. We'll see what I do. I gotta drop the stuff off because it's milk and yogurt. I might go do a sunset. I don't know if I'll do it from the truck. I don't know if I'll do it from home. I don't know what I'll do. We'll see how it goes. I got a little bit of time. If I keep talking, though, I'm gonna run past the time. I think sunset usually is now around 8:20, so I got about an hour. That's what I'm going to go do. I appreciate everybody watching. Right? I appreciate everybody watching, but let's think of it that way, right? Wherever you are, whatever you're doing. One, we should pray for the people that were in that accident today and whoever got harmed today, especially that accident. Hopefully everybody makes it up. And let's think about that, right? And I believe in prayer, and it's a good thing, but we also need to do what? We need to do deeds. We need to do things that make that change, right? That changes what's happening around us, right? And we need to talk about it. And we need to do things, right, to make sure that people understand this. If you think it's bad, then keep thinking that. But if you think how to fix the bad and how to make it good, and if you think of how we all as individuals can change some things, then that's how things get done. Not by blaming, not by asking for more money, not by saying it's somebody else's problem, and not by saying you can't do it. That bridge right in front of us, whatever that is, that subway bridge or train bridge, see there, somebody built that. I can't build that bridge. I have no idea how to build that bridge. I've never built a bridge in my life. I could probably never build a bridge in my life. Maybe I'll learn how to build it, but that takes a lot of people to build that. Just like fixing our problems. Some problems can be fixed by one person. Some problems can be fixed by a family. Some problems can be fixed by a neighborhood. Some problems can be fixed by a whole city. That's what we got to think about, right? That's it. All problems can be fixed, and not all problems are bad. Some problems are good. That's how I want to finish tonight. SubX.News on the spot reporting. It is now 7:19 p.m. I believe it is. Let me check the date. I think it's the 17th, right? Yeah, June 17, 2026. I appreciate everybody watching. Yes, we're at 3 hours and 20 minutes. That time goes by quick, don't it? Make sure you eat some dinner, relax. Always power up your devices. Have a candle. If the power goes out, we're supposed to still have some storms coming. So be safe, be careful. I'll see what I do later on tonight. Appreciate everybody watching. Thank you very much. Be safe, be careful. SubX.News signing off.